Good morning, everybody, and happy Wednesday. We have a special guest with us here this morning. We have Coach Dakota with us, who's currently in a trade right now, trading the Nikkei overnight here. Coach Dakota, if you're with us, why don't you talk us through what happened overnight with your trade here? I think we're having a couple issues with audio here. See if we can get this resolved.
Come on and fill, you fucking market.
So I believe that Coach Dakota was in a trade, and he was holding that overnight. It was in Nikkei futures. Let's see if we can get any audio here out of Coach Dakota.
Oh, we're live on YouTube. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, I can see your pings on Discord, but I can't hear you. One second.
Okay, you guys can hear him. I'm having some trouble hearing him for some reason. Let me see here.
I can hear you on YouTube now.
There we go. Got him. I can hear you. Okay. We're good to go. Can you hear me, Coach Dakota?
Yeah, I can hear you. I can also hear myself through YouTube.
Okay. If you pause YouTube and you just watch on the Discord stream, it should be good. If you go into the live trading room in Discord, it should be good.
I'm in the live trading room in Discord, and I click join, but I don't hear or see anything.
You have to join the screen share in there. That should be it. Let's see here. One moment. And there we go. Should be good now.
Yep, that works.
Cool. So how you doing this morning?
Just waking up, man. I was I went to bed near the London Open. Didn't sleep really well, like 4 hours of sleep, and I just took a shower, Rips, and I was standing in the shower just falling asleep, thinking like, what the hell am I doing? Like, what did I get myself into? It's one of those situations where my heart and my mind gets me into something that my body doesn't really want until after it was too late. So yeah, I got me an energy drink and some protein bar that I'm gonna be eating during your stream, if you don't mind.
Is that a Celsius by chance? Is that one of these things?
I usually love Celsius. This is a bang, but I do have Celsius in my fridge. This is just one left over from.
So can you talk us through the trade here? Looks like you just hit some TP there.
Yeah, I just had my order filled. Or at least partial. Let me go ahead and manage this order.
Order submitted.
Man, that's loud. Okay. That gives some of you the traders PTSD hearing that. Amateur, yes, I need a harder drink. It's 6 a.m. for me, guys. Let's briefly go over this. This is Nikkei. This is Japanese market. I got into this trade like literally 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. So it's been 12 hours. I've been in this trade for 12 hours. It's just, what are the odds it gets filled during your live class? We were sitting like the 30 minutes. Me and Rips was just trying to take care of all this, getting things set up. And like, I'm in this trade. We better hurry. So see if it, and the next thing we know, it starts just ripping. Right. Like legit. As Rip sent me a message like, hey, you ready for the live stream? I looked at the market and it just started just rallying. Anyway, let's talk over it. This is a 1 minute chart on the Nikkei. You can see it looks like it looks ugly because it has a thin order book. But let me pull it up on a 100 tick chart. That's what I traded off of. And this is very basic. It really is. We've been in a rally on the Nikkei, very much like we've been in a rally on the NASDAQ. And you could see whenever we start to consolidate, the best strategy is just buy the bottoms, sell the tops. And we've been consolidating, and sure enough, every single time we sell off down here near the bottoms, it has been buying opportunities. Yesterday, during the sell-off during the New York session, we did make a bottom, and then we rallied to the end of the day. As you could see, this was the bottom. We rallied, and then we had a little bit of a sell-off here. The Asian market opened at around 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. We sold off. We had this huge engulfing bull candle. This is where I got in long. I had my stop loss below here. My take profit was at 200. Actually, I forgot to put my take profit in before my slow markets class here at Top Step. Market rallied straight up while I was at a movie. I went to watch the thing where like Washington State rows the boat. It was a really good movie. Got home, realized I forgot to put a take profit. Put my take profit at 200, and it's been a crazy ride. 12 hours, and we're continuing to push higher. I think I'm just gonna get out of this.
Order submitted.
So you have, yeah, I was gonna say you have a contract, 2 contracts there. So
yeah, this is raw. This is live stream, guys. Everyone needs to know this is a raw live stream, and I'm freaking tired.
And this is the very first joint stream that we're doing together here.
A little warning for you and your stream.
I do plan on we will be doing this more often here, since Coach Dakota and I are definitely looking at joining forces here together for the Top Step Trading League, and we'll talk about that later in the stream. I want to see what the final profit tally is on this incredible trade. It looks like it's going to be over $10,000 on this trade, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. Do I have it somewhere?
It's right above your head.
Oh, okay. It's on my OBS. Okay, there we go. There you go. Yeah, it's right behind me. Yeah, we should be good. Yeah, almost 10K on this one. We'll see if I can get filled, but everyone's just waking up, and I'm already in profit.
That's amazing. I mean, so in totality, what has been the length of this trade? I know you talked about it briefly, but we do have some more people coming in here if you want to touch on that again.
Yeah. So I actually got into this trade at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. And yeah, here it is, 6 a.m. for me, or 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. So just over 13-hour trade on the Nikkei. This is one of those long ones. Usually I would have been out maybe like up here earlier, so it would have been like 4 or 5 hour trade. But and now I'm out. So
wow.
Yeah, that was it. A 13-hour trade. And
congratulations.
So I'm just waking up, and we're gonna see how we can do in the New York session. I'm gonna still be trading these same accounts though. It's been a long time since I traded the New York session, so just a big warning for everybody. I trade I'm not going to be trading my real account, not my personal accounts. I'm waiting for my live account at Top Step. I was in 3 XFAs, as everybody probably knows. Made what, 61,000 or something in 8 days, and waiting for that to be transferred over to live. I had some XFAs just sitting in the back. I paid for them. I pay for them just like everybody else. We don't get any special treatment. $150 per. No
freebies.
And I talked to Mick. I said, hey, you know what? As you're transferring me to live, go ahead and activate my other 3 XFAs. I don't want to miss a day of trading. Yesterday, I finished down like $800 per account. Today, I'm up whatever the math is behind me.
Now, that is something important to touch on that I didn't actually know about, is that if you are trading on Top Step and you do have past Combine accounts, go ahead and pay for them, and those XFAs can stay on the bench for as long as you want. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's correct. And guys, like I said, Rips is my new trading buddy. And over the past week, we have been messaging back and forth, and it's been great. Where, if yesterday I was down, the other day whenever Rips is down, we're just messaging back and forth, and just like true trading buddies, or the start of a relationship, right? Just like, hey, I'm down. How's it going? It's filling. There's a lot of pressure trading live, and also on top of that, something else is unique: being on the leaderboard in front of the audience. Like, not only am I trading live in front of everybody, but we're also trading in front of a huge audience.
That's probably one of the hardest parts. Streaming while trading is one thing. Streaming while trading in front of a larger audience is another thing. Streaming while trading in front of an audience while being on a top leaderboard, that's a whole new bag of tricks right there that you have to get over. So I'm pleased to say, Coach Dakota, I think you are now you're comfortably within the top 6 now, right? Is that correct?
Somewhere up there, man. It's so volatile anymore that from what I've seen, we're getting a huge rally over here on the Nasdaq. Sorry, I'm very distracted sometimes.
It just so happens, by the way, if you ever wanted to look into, and this is for you folks out in the audience here, if you ever wanted to look into streaming while trading, just know that anytime that you're fumbling around with a stream, setting up or going live, that is going to be the biggest opportunities in the market, and the market gods know that, to make sure that you always miss them.
100%. We'll be talking. The next thing I know, I look at my chart and I'm like, well, NASDAQ just rallied 100 points, and
Yeah, we had some earnings this morning. There's a question in chat. Why are we rallying? We did have some earnings this morning. I'm going to go hop over into my trading view chart just for a moment here. We did have some interesting price action here this morning playing around our levels. We did have this area that was just holding up here. Right down here, we had this area that was holding up, and I had a little dotted line there. That's usually what I draw on my charts to signify a temporary bottom or an area that we have some demand. So we had some demand down there, and now we've shot up through our clubhouse level of 710.25. We are looking to encroach upon this overhead supply, which has been an issue. I'm going to go to the 15-minute chart here. We've had an issue with this area in the past here, right along there. So it's been really interesting to see the auction go up there and reject. There's a question now whether or not we're going to do that today, and if we have enough to pull us up there. The thing is that we don't have much news that's going to be out today. We really don't have anything in the pre-market outside of the December trade balance. That's going to be a little bit interesting, but today is going to be a day that is all about Fed speakers today. So that's what I'm going to be watching. I do want to go over my trade as well that I took this morning. I traded along on my combines this morning, and before we were getting set up on the stream, I took a short here as we were cresting up towards the clubhouse level here. Took a short, covered some, and then reshorted and covered on that flush there, and that put me up on 3 combine accounts, up $4,700 there. I did trade my live account as well. I traded it yesterday during the Globex session, and I'm up $2,000 in my live account. So I'm very happy with my day and how it's starting so far, and I'm sure that Coach Dakota, you are as well. Back to your screen over here.
Yeah, so like I said, I'm just getting started, so don't mind me. I might be sending a message and eating and hanging out, but NASDAQ is volatile. To be honest, this is what I was telling some of the folks at Top Step is we're at a point in NASDAQ where we're so close to all-time highs. You could literally go to the bathroom and come back, and we're going to be making all-time highs. I got ate up yesterday trying to short the market, thinking that we could push a little bit lower. That's how I took the $850 loss. Sure enough, tonight right now we're just rallying. All-time highs is, what is it, 93 or 95, 793? I don't know, somewhere right there. But 60 points, about 60 give or take, and we could do that really quick. We just rallied almost 100 while we were just sitting here talking.
Yeah, it's been really going up. Eric Myers here in chat asking, I want to make sure I understand. Are you saying you can have more than 3 XFAs? For example, you have 7 XFAs, 3 active trading, and 4 on the bench. That is correct, as long as you pay for them. So if you pay for your XFAs, they'll sit infinitely on the bench, so to speak. And then once you either lose those XFAs that are active, they can go over to the other side. Dakota, you might want to turn down my volume
low.
on
Yeah.
a little bit. People are getting a little bit of an echo.
Upping the gain. I have the beautiful, what do you call it? Shure mic, right? And I have the amplifier here, and I'm upping the amps. Let's see. How's that?
That sounds great on my end. I just know that there's a little feedback coming through.
Much better.
From my voice there. So we are coming up here. We are coming up to this overhead supply area. This has been a very reliable area. I will be potentially looking to take a trade up here if we have a nice rejection. We could see some exhaustion, but this thing is just off to the races. So we'll have to see. We'll have to see how this kind of shakes out and plays out here. Does anybody in the chat, by the way, have any trades on right now? I am curious about that. If anybody has any trades on, go ahead and share them in chat if you have any trades on. We have Kofifi still long. We have Douglas is long here as well. Jello is long. Ken is long. Ray is holding. Very, very nice. Anybody
And
trying
what
to
we
short
see
this
is-
move? I'm curious.
Yeah, just so everyone's aware, the chart that they're seeing is a 100 tick chart. I use that chart as an execution and the way to trail my trades. But I have another monitor that I have a 5-minute and I change different time frames. So all of my trade setups are based on either a 5-minute or an hourly chart or like a higher time frame for support and resistance. And then all of my trade management is done on a 100 tick. So it kind of just zooms it in, and I could be a little bit more accurate with my support and resistance and trailing it for smaller pivot points.
Yeah, I like that a lot. That's a very nice approach. Let's run a poll in here. I'm curious if we have any. Do you trade on a tick chart or on a time chart? Tick chart, time chart. There we go. There's a poll here in the YouTube. Let's see who, go ahead and vote on that. I'm just curious for all the folks here that are watching. And by the way, please go ahead and slam that like button. It also helps the channel tremendously here. Coach Dakota, do you have a YouTube channel that you'd like to share?
I'm starting one. I am so crunched with time, guys, as much as I want to start one. It's there. I have some videos that I don't have, what do you call it, edit or public. I just don't have time to run one, and you know how it is, Rips, right?
Absolutely.
We were messaging that before. I'm like, it's taking. I'm like, I'm a full-time trader, right? And then I also help run a supply company during the day, and then I have my slow markets class at night, and then I'm also trading. And then you can see I'm running off 4 hours of sleep. So me running my own channel as much as I want to, right now, not yet. If anything, I'm going to try and contract it out. Maybe I do live. Everything's set up. Once I get it, I'll let everybody know. But it's pretty much just Coach DBA.
Let me see if I can post a link to that in chat. Coach DBA here. Is it just YouTube / Coach DBA? Let's see if that works.
I don't know. Let's see if I could find it.
I got it right here. I'm going to post this in chat for everybody here.
You found it?
No videos,
it's
right?
Really? What's that?
No videos are live on your channel yet?
There's nothing on
Okay,
there.
so if you folks want to go head over there and subscribe, maybe we can get Coach Dakota over here convinced to post some videos for us and get some content live for us. That'd be wonderful.
Sure. That's it. There's the rough draft. There you go, guys. We're continuing to bounce up. We're making a run at these highs.
Yeah, markets are indeed rallying here. I am looking to potentially put on a trade here as we are coming up to this Clubhouse level of 37.25. That is a level that we've been watching for quite some time in here. So we'll have to see whether or not this is kind of where we kind of a little bit of a pullback or a pause, and see if this is a rejection point. Also, if you want to turn down my volume on your end because it's getting a little echo on the stream.
Okay. There we go. How's that?
That should be good. Still a little bit of echo, but that's it's okay. I think, do we have Coach Jay in chat as well? Did I see that properly?
Coach Jay, do it. He's over here pressuring. Man, what a rally. Rallies like this are just so tempting to short. You can see I have a 5-minute chart up. And you can see it on yours.
Here, let me switch over to yours.
No. You're there we go. Beautiful. Yeah, you can see this 5-minute chart where it's just up. It's so tempting to short. Every single time on Discord, I'm talking to traders. I'm talking to you guys a lot. Now is where counts are blown, to be honest, Rips, where people might be way too tempted to short it as we start going up, and then they add to the position, add, and the next thing they know, they're blown, or they hit the daily loss limit. It's so tempting, but how do you get in short on such a strong rallying market? Maybe I still have a little bit of PTSD from yesterday.
Yeah, one of the things that I'm looking at here is potentially using this overhead supply level to sort of guide our trades here. So if we do have a rejection at this point, I could potentially look at taking a short here and shooting for about 15 to 20 points on this, trading smaller size. So this is first rejection area. I am just going to take a short here on this right now. Taking a short with one contract here. Wait, oh wait, that's not the right account at all. Let me cancel that. Let me see here. Which is my main account? This one.
Okay, I'm short.
Okay, nice. So we're in the same trade here.
There we go. You can see it. It filled all three of my things. There we go.
So yeah, I'm gonna join you on that. Do one lot short here. Keep a pretty tight stop on this one, and we'll go over to your screen as well. We can see that you are also short there.
What price did you get in at? You probably got a better price than I did.
Average is 733 3/4 there. So we'll have to see if this is that rejection area that we've been watching here for quite some time. It's been a good area of rejection, but that doesn't mean we can't drive higher and pop a bunch of stops before we go much lower. I'm looking for a quick rejection on this, probably down to around 25 for a nice little scalp here. I'm not looking for a huge kind of trade on this one. PDJ says what you're going through, Coach Dakota, is battered bull syndrome, BBS.
Yeah, I'm a permanent bull, by the way. So it's easy for me to get in longs, harder for me to take shorts, especially when in my personal accounts, I do have long-term bullish positions and options. But as much as I hate shorting up here in a bullish, such a strong trending, you see I got in a short. So, and it's, what do you call it? Skin in the game. You can see behind me.
Yeah, this is starting to roll over here a little bit. We will go over to the trading view just to check. This is the 15-minute. I'm going to drop it down to the 1 minute here. So this is the rejection that we're looking for at this overhead supply area. I'm looking to just close this out. You know, if we can get this tooling into the mid to low 20s, that'd be a nice little scalp here. I'm just watching around 30s for any kind of weakness here that we could potentially add into for that further scalp to the downside. So that's kind of how I'm playing this here, as we did have a nice rejection there.
Nice.
So there we go. We are rolling over just a touch here, up about $80 in the trade as we are rolling over. And I do want to see if I can catch this at around this 25, 26 here. I'm going to move my stop into the profit now as well, just protecting any more profits here. And I just want to, again, understand that we are in a nice rally area here. So the moment that I start to see a little bit of an uptick, I'm likely going to cover this out here. So looking to see any kind of rejection towards the 30s, coming back up towards this 30 flat area. Yeah, let me move the screen for you folks here. There we go. And we might get stopped out. We have our stop here in the profit. And this is, you know, I want to run a tight stop because in case this does negate and seek more liquidity there to the top side, you know, I'm looking for a smaller trade here, a nice little scalp. Let's see over on Dakota's screen here as well. Are you flying with how to stop? Is that, do I see that correctly?
Just, hey, you're not supposed to say that on the stream. Always use stops, guys.
Always use stops unless they're my trades. Then it doesn't matter.
Do as
so
I
much.
say, not as I do. Yeah, let me just put a hard stop in here. Sorry, let's go.
Order submitted.
There's my hard stop. I'm on a different time frame. Like I said, my trade setups are on higher time frames. So here's my 5 minute. This is just a hard stop, emergency stop, just in case the market just jumps up for some news. I'm not hitting my daily loss limit. In no way. I'm definitely going to be closing this out for a little bit, you know, definitely much sooner. But I encourage everybody to have a hard, concrete stop no matter what. This would be like dramatic. Powell comes in and says, we're cutting interest rates right now. And we jump 300 points, right? You know, worst case scenario, I lose whatever this is. This is just an emergency hard stop. It doesn't really matter for me right now where it's at. I'm going to manage my trade. This is a 5 minute trade setup. You can see we up. Very basic, looking for a 3-bar reversal. We got that 3-bar reversal. I also did a little bit more analysis. Maybe what I'm looking for is maybe we come down to test this resistance. This was resistance. We broke out of resistance. Market likes to come back and test it. Yeah, like I said, we trade on different time frames. There's going to be lots of times where maybe one person's short, one person's long. It doesn't really matter. Bears make money, bulls make money at the same time. It depends on your time frame. So that's one thing which I like, and I think pretty sure you guys are going to start seeing it. Rips is really in and out really quick. Awesome. Love listening to it. And I'm probably going to be sitting here eating some breakfast and just listening and relaxing.
And letting the trade work. We are coming down here, by the way, and this is what's going to key me in to move my stop here. So we are coming down just a touch, and I'm going to move my stop to protect some more profits. If it does bounce from here, I am happy with the trade altogether. We're currently up about $180 here on this trade, but we are running into some liquidity. So if we're looking at Bookmap over here, there's a lot of liquidity here to the downside that the market generally wants to seek. And as we're eyeing that, we have to be wary that there could be too much congestion of liquidity. And so that can take the price and push it right back up, because you'll see folks that are panic covering. So if people are sort of on the fence about the short, they can start to panic cover and push the price up. And that's why I move my stops, just to protect any future profits there. And we are coming down here. We are having a nice little roll. You can also see the same kind of volume shelf that I'm talking about right here. This is, you can see that in TradingView, a little bit of the volume shelf. We're coming towards the collar of that volume shelf, and we would look to seek that liquidity all the way down at 710 there.
Yeah. Someone says Dakota has never lost his internet connection while trading. I have more than I wish would happen. I have my phone. This is my backup internet. I'll just connect it to Wi-Fi, or I can log into my platform and close it. But all of my orders are saved on the server side, so even if I lose internet or something happens, blackout, storm, the orders are in and they will get executed. That's why it's always important to have a hard stop. And yes, I look exhausted. 4 hours of sleep, guys. I was trading London. Yeah, here I am.
Can we give it up? I mean, Coach Dakota coming in on the live stream on no sleep whatsoever, doing this for the people out here. Really appreciate it. Give it up for Coach Dakota for doing this. It's not easy to wake up and start streaming in front of 1,000 people, especially after you already banked $10,000 overnight on your trade. So I really do appreciate you being here and blessing the family out here with your presence. It really does mean a lot to everybody out here, and we're all very excited to learn about your strategy. I have moved my stop, by the way, and I just got tagged on that. That's going to move our grand total here up on the day now to $5,375, and that was just a nice one lot scalp. Have to ask here in chat, either in the Discord or in YouTube, did anybody else catch something similar there off of that beautiful rejection there that we had on that overhead supply? That to me was a really nice clean setup, very, very low risk. I think the most heat I would have taken on that trade was about $125. So very happy with that trade, and Coach Dakota is probably going to be holding that for much longer than I would. And this is why we wanted to bring Coach Dakota on. Two different styles here, two different ways to trade. There is no one right way to trade. So maybe my style doesn't quite mesh well with you. Maybe you like Coach Dakota's style. And I think there were some folks that got in here a little bit late. We have about 1,100 people watching right now. Coach, if you want to go over what you saw in your trade on the Nikkei, if you don't mind embellishing us a little bit on that trade.
Yeah, that's why I said different styles, different time frames. Nobody is exactly the same, right? You took profit. That's great. I love seeing that, especially as a coach, when traders are just not too hesitant to take profit. You take profit, maybe if this thing rallies, I'll take a loss, right? Which is crazy. We get in short the same position. You made money, I didn't, or vice versa, right? Maybe there was an option where it popped up. You get stopped out really quick, small loss. I'm sitting here holding it. I mean, that's the beauty of trading is we all have our own unique styles. That's what makes a market. Someone's long, someone's short. But anyway, yeah, I had a Nikkei trade. Let's see this. Yeah, here's Nikkei. It's on 100 chick. Last night, yeah, this is going to be a repeat. So I'm going to go ahead and just repeat what I said a little bit ago.
Yeah, we have pretty much triple the amount of people that are in here now. So I think a lot of people missed it. We have a couple audio problems. Are you able to show your actual executions on your chart if possible?
Yeah, let's go here. Let me see. Bear with me, guys. Let's go.
Oh, we have nothing but time this morning. We have, just to let everybody know, we do have some news that's going to be out here really quickly at 8:30. So we will take a pause for that in about a minute. So let's just get a quick little rundown, and then we'll do the news, and we'll jump back into your trade here.
Here we go. There's the executions, right? Yeah, that looks like a nice trade.
Brilliant.
Everything
trade.
always looks nice when it works out. Then they look ugly. But anyway, let me zoom out. This is 100 tick. This is Nikkei. This is Japanese market, right? And we've been in a bull market. We've been rallying up since I could continue to go further back, but you guys get the point. We're trending up. We was making all-time highs, very much like the NASDAQ. And then we just kind of started to consolidate the end of January and going into the beginning of February. And when we consolidate, buy the lows, sell the highs type ideal and mentality. And every time we've had a sell off, this has shown as great support. Sure enough, yesterday around noon, afternoon, whatever time it is for you during the New York session, we did make a pivot low. And as you can see, we had that pivot. I wasn't watching it yesterday. I was busy losing money on the NASDAQ, trying to short it. And as soon as we opened up, I went ahead and got into 3 contracts long. I had my stop loss at that pivot, and you can obviously see where I closed out for some take profit. This was a 13-hour trade, guys. So I was sleeping. I went to the movies, went to dinner, got some good Texas Roadhouse yesterday, which was nice, and then movies, and then woke up for rips, and rips actually woke me up, to be honest. I got that
That's
message.
what good trading buddies are good for, right?
It's 5 a.m. and then I shower. I was falling asleep, and then I look at the market finally, and I'm like, oh wow, we're starting to get this rally, and I'm like, well, let's hurry and get this on stream just in case. And then
we got the final take profit.
Yeah, while we were sitting it up, I'm like, oh, we're just 1 tick away. And as soon as you went in live, it was just a few minutes later.
That's right. Really quickly, we do have in 20 seconds, we do have the December trade balance that's coming out. And so traders out there, please be careful. If you do have a position on, like you, Coach, just be careful that this could stir some volatility here.
Yep, I think I might close this out soon. Yeah, you hit your you made money on this trade, right?
That's right. We made about just shy of $200 per account, so total about $600 on that trade here. Okay, trade balance is out, negative 62.2 billion, which is a little bit cooler than the expectation of negative 62 billion. So 0.2 billion cooler than expected. The market didn't really react sharply on that, but that is all that we have for the 8:30 news. We did have the December international merchandise trade from Canada, which again doesn't really move the US markets all that much. But now the next piece of data is not going to be out here until really, we have some DOE data for our energy traders out there. We have the oil, gasoline, distillate inventories that are going to be out today at 10:30. And then beyond that, we have a 10-year note auction, which I think is going to be the largest volatility event of the entire day. That's going to be out at 1 p.m. today. But as I said earlier at the top of the stream, if you missed it, I see that there's about 1,200 of you folks in here. If you don't mind, just go ahead and hit that like button. Make sure you are subscribed so you can see more streams just like this one. At 11 a.m., we are going to have Adriana Kugler, who's a voter. She's a Fed speaker and a voter. She's going to be speaking today. At 11:30, we do have Susan Collins. At noon, we have Mr. Thomas Barkin. And at 2 p.m. today, we do have Michelle Bowman. That's going to be what the volatility events are today. So please mark that out on your calendar. 11 a.m., 11:30, noon, and 2 p.m. Let's go back to Dakota over here. What's going on with this trade? Talk me through what your thoughts are here, because I know that there's a lot of folks that get value from seeing if you're taking heat on a trade. What goes through your mind like this when you're catching a little bit of heat? You're not taking a lot of heat, but a little touch of heat here.
Actually, I'm focused because it seems like we're getting echo. Let me do this. Let me try this. I'm gonna put some headphones.
Perfect.
Let's see this. Yeah, I'm probably gonna take a loss on this trade, to be honest. We're starting to get a little bit of volatility here. 1 second.
We do have Kashkari also popping in with an interview here. So that is definitely, Kashkari is known to stir up a lot of volatility. I think we solved the echo problem now, folks. So we are good.
I put my headphones in. I can hear you just fine.
Sweet. So the people are asking, where do you, I want to let you manage this trade first. I want to make sure that you have full focus on that. Folks are asking, where do you trade the Nikkei? It is symbol NKD. On I think it's just NKD's, what are we in? The H contracts for March? NKDH?
Yeah, March 2024.
Right. So I believe the symbol
H. I'm
on
not sure on
NinjaTrader, NKDH or NKH. But yes, you can trade that on Top Step as well. So we did push through that level. And I will just go over to my chart here really quick. We did push through that level. I'm going to go to the 15-minute chart. We did push through that level of 37 quarters, and you can see in the past we had a lot of overhead resistance, and in fact, most of the times we did come back up and touch the higher level of 769 evens. So there is a chance that we can boot, scoot, and rally up to that level. Yet the S&Ps are very strong, and that comes with what we're seeing in the strength of the Mag 7 here. Apple, Tesla, Meta, Microsoft, and Google are all tremendously strong this morning. So that is adding to the rally. We did have ECB's Lagarde come out with some very hot, dovish commentary that did seem to kind of keep the markets up here. I believe that she had a press release or some news that came out at 4:30. Now, Dakota, as we're kind of peaking up at these levels and we're starting to roll, is this a position where you would add into this here? Is this something where you look for an add, perhaps?
No, to be honest. I mean, just one contract for me, especially pre-market, pre-New York session. I'm already up. I don't want to give anything risk. Max position I typically take is 3 contracts. So 1 to 3. I'm not going to add. I mean, I'm not getting exactly what I wanted right here. I have the 5-minute chart up. You can see, let me switch this to the 5-minute. Let me just bring this down. Actually, we'll figure this streaming stuff out.
It's the first one, and I appreciate everybody bearing with us here.
Yeah, it's rough. It's raw. There's no hidden smoke and mirrors, which is great, which is why I love it, and which is why I'm here. We had that rally up. We're pre-New York session, so I'm not expecting much, to be honest. I'm going into this. You can see we have a lot of resistance in this zone. This is a really big resistance zone. And so to me, I'm like, well, maybe
really quick, hate to interrupt here. Really quick, just coming across the wires, Kashkari just said that we're looking at a maximum of 2 rate cuts this year. So the market should react quite negatively on that. Back to what you were saying there, Dakota.
Yeah, this is a good resistance area. And so if I'm going to take a short, this would be it. Of course, with hindsight at our back, you would love to add into a position, right? But we don't have hindsight when we're trading live. So this is going to be something I might just hold until we go into the New York Open. I don't know. We'll see how it plays out. I like it. This is actually giving me an opportunity to move my stop loss, and maybe I'll just trail it. We'll see how it goes.
I like that a lot. I like actively trailing my own stops rather than setting them to trail in their own way using an automatic trailing stop. If we're going back to TradingView here and looking at the 15-minute, again, we did expect that there is a chance that we can whip on some of this liquidity that is rested above here and possibly pop some stops. They're going to have some buy stops above this for folks who are or early shorters in these types of moves. So that little wick right there might be all that we see above that level. It could just wick back and forth and go a little bit higher before finally coming back down. But with what Kashkari is saying right now, it's going to be pretty difficult, I think, for the market to really kind of pick a direction until he's done speaking. I think that there's a good chance that with how much of a hotbed of activity he usually stirs up, there's a good chance that when he's finally done speaking, the market can kind of say, okay, Neil's out of the way. He will be speaking again, I think it's on Thursday, if I'm not mistaken. Let me just see here. No, that's it. So this is his final speaking engagement for the rest of the week, and this is all we're going to hear out of Neil. But yeah, this is the type of thing where when you have speakers like this, they can introduce a lot of volatility. It can make things a little bit scary to trade. And it's very important that you're making a note of when these speakers are going to be speaking. Again, for anybody who missed it, speakers today at 11, 11:30, noon, and 2 p.m. today. Those are going to be high amounts of volatility given that we don't really have any news releases out of a 10-year auction today, outside of a 10-year auction. It's going to be very volatile today because of those speakers. And I think the market is going to be leaning in heavily to what they're saying as they're saying it. So for instance, when Neil Kashkari just came out and said, I'm only seeing 2 rate cuts, that negates what we saw in the S&P dot plot for December, where we're talking about 3 rate cuts, and that was kind of loose from the Fed. Market participants are pricing in 6. So when Neil comes out hot and heavy, he says, hey, we're looking at 2. That's something that can bring the market to a pause and start to reverse a move of what we've seen here with this extension to the upside. How much does news play into what your trading style and acumen is over there, Dakota?
Zero. Well, actually, I lied. I can't say zero. Um, for a lot of my trading, it's pure technical analysis, and you can see I had no idea that there was news coming out. It just so happens I'm in short, right? And if the news is bearish, I'm like, oh, that's great. But for my longer term trades, yes, I'll pay attention to news a lot more. But for a trade like this, no. I mean, if there is a big news event, I kind of do not like to trade during really bigger news events. And I'll kind of just sit on my hands and wait and let the news event happen, then look for setups after the fact. Yeah, I think that's it. I don't trade the news. I don't like to be in a position before the news or even shortly after. I like to trade pretty much no news days. Not no news days. No news, but high volatile days. It's just very rare. We love volatility as traders, but I don't like news to. I don't like to be in a trade when there's news events because anything can happen.
And this is a really good time to highlight to everybody out there who's watching that there, again, is no correct way to trade. You heard what Coach Dakota just said. He said that he doesn't trade on news at all. I'm a very heavy event-driven trader. I use it as part of my trading strategy for a lot of my trades, and we're both winning traders. We're both consistently profitable traders, and you can see that he shrugs off the news. I pay a lot of attention to it, yet we still end up with the same result of being profitable traders. So think about that. If you ever have you put a chart out there and somebody says, oh, well, I wouldn't have taken it there, or your executions are this or this and that. It's okay. We can all disagree with one another. There's no one right way to do this. If you find something that is working for you and it is consistently profitable, you have back tested your strategy and you're seeing consistency in that strategy, continue to lean into it. Don't be the person who continually starts chasing the next shiny object. You get something that's working, start leaning into that. One thing that I found through mentoring people over the years is that they'll have a strategy that works and then they'll just say, well, I'm going to put that in my back pocket and I'm going to start focusing on something else now. And they start chasing the next shiny object, whether that's smart money concepts or Wyckoff theory, or now you're trading using Bookmap instead of just trading the chart. You want to lean into what works for you. And I think that this is a very interesting point that when Dakota is talking about how he just shrugs off the news, I pay so much attention to it, yet we both end up with the same result where we're profitable. And in fact, we both have the same exact trade here going into that short. I'm looking at it because I know that we have news coming up. He's not paying attention to that. And that highlights the beauty of trading. You don't have to be looking at the exact same thing that another trader is looking at. And this is why it's also good to have a trading buddy. And I'm so happy that Coach Dakota over here is my new trading buddy. And hopefully we can do plenty more streams like this where we have the dual stream going on, and we'll fix all these audio issues that we had early on in the stream, and things will be much smoother. What are your thoughts right now as this trade is kind of playing out? I know you're a much more patient trader. You don't really pay attention to the minutia of everything tick by tick, whereas somebody like me who's a hyper scalper at times, very focused on consistently focusing on the order flow and seeing what's happening tick by tick. Talk me through, what is the mental state that you're looking at? I see you just kind of closed there at a break even. What's sort of the mental state when you have a trade on like that?
Yeah, so I just closed that. I mean, I don't like this price action. I don't mind taking a small loss.
When you say you don't like the price action, can you talk us through exactly what that means? Because it's such a broad sweeping statement.
It is too, right? Real quick, this is an example, right? You took profit on this trade. I just took a small loss. And to go back to what you said, there really isn't a wrong way to trade. There's only one wrong way to trade, and that's bad risk management. Whether you're flipping a coin, I have this magic 8-ball on my desk. Whatever it is, there is no wrong way to trade with getting into a trade. And you're trading, what do you call it, strategy or style. The only wrong way to trade, and this is a very blanket statement because it's 100% true, is bad risk management. Whatever you use, news, flipping a coin, whatever it is, it's perfectly fine as long as you're consistent and you could repeat it and you have good risk management. Good risk management is the same across everybody's trading style. But yeah, this trade, and the reason why I was saying that is I have a 5-minute chart over here. I think I'm just going to figure out how to switch back and forth. So here's the 5-minute. Man, I love my charts clean, so I'm going to go ahead and get out of this. I'll always show my executions, but it's just a pet peeve of mine. I like clean charts. So here on the 5-minute, my trade setup was a 3-bar reversal, right? And then over here on the left, we have a lot of resistance here. So I was okay holding until maybe we start getting up in this area, or even if I start take a loss as we start to break this. However, we had that 3-bar reversal and a rally. We had this other candlestick, and this is a really bearish candlestick. And typically when we see something like this, I like to see some follow through. And if we didn't get any follow through and we're continuing just to grind higher, sometimes I like to just, close it, sit on my hands for a little bit longer, because no position is more times than not the best position. And you see, I did have a stop loss up here, which sure, if we do sell off, I'm like, oh, I wish I didn't close it. But if we do rally up, I'm like, I'm happy I closed it. I might get into the trade again. We will see, but we're starting to chop around. It is pre-market. It's been a long time since I traded pre-market, so I'm perfectly fine with keeping it very light and not overdoing it. Like you see, I'm up money today. I'm up quite a bit of money, and so why give anything back, right? What's Warren Buffett's rule? Don't lose money. Rule number 2, don't lose money. And then like rule number 3 or something, refer back to rule number 1, whatever that is.
So there's a couple questions here that I wanted to ask. You go over the 3-bar reversal. Can you talk about that pattern or that setup just a little bit for anybody who doesn't know what the 3-bar reversal is?
Yeah, let's do that. The most basic thing, right? This is trading 101. We have a nice trending market that you can see. This is a 5-minute chart. We're going up, 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 up. And then as soon as we have I call this an apex candle. Some people call it like a hammer, doji, whatever. As soon as the price action crosses below that, then that is technically right here. This paddle. So we have a candlestick. We have the apex candle, and then we have the reversal. So this is a 3-bar reversal. And typically what this means is there's indecision here, and that markets typically like to reverse, obviously. 3-bar reversal. There's a lot of technical patterns. Before, I used to have an old poster that I got, and it was behind me, and there's like 100 different patterns and candlestick patterns. I used to have them all memorized, but the more now, I don't have them memorized. It's very, very basic market structure patterns. Keeping my trading as simple as possible. It makes it easy for me. I'm half asleep. I can still analyze the market okay. The one thing amongst everything is risk management. And I get this a lot. Is like, hey, what's my edge in the market? I'm like, I don't really have an edge when it comes to getting in, getting out, in terms of there's no secret candlestick pattern. There's no secret indicator. There's no secrets to trading. It's just risk management. Like risk management, I guess, is that golden goose. It is that secret. It doesn't matter how you're getting in and how you're getting out in terms of an indicator, chart patterns. Your grandma gives you a phone call when she wakes up. It's just risk management. That is the edge that we have in the markets, at least in my view. Now remember, it's all 100% an opinion. If you do feel like you have an edge on something else, then great, stick to it. Hopefully you're consistent over the long run, because I'll never go against anybody and their own trading. I will always help and recommend risk management. And we always run into that occasional troll or trader who, they thinks they know everything, or they have an amazing strategy, but to each their own, right? We hear that a lot here. MP says it all the time, to each their own. And we really just want to help traders out. That's why join Top Step. That's why I'm here at 5 a.m. or 6 a.m. Local time. Is I want to show that you don't have to be just so one-dimensional. I always tell everybody, if you can't trade the New York session, that's fine. There's opportunity during the overnight session. You see, I have, almost 10K in profits while I was sleeping, and I could also wake up at this time and perform. Using the same concept, right? It's just risk management. It doesn't matter what time of day. It doesn't matter what market. If you don't know how to manage risk, you're going to struggle. So I'm going to sit on my hands, Rips. If I see something really good, I'm going to take it. But we have, 40 minutes until the market opens? Something
Yep,
close?
just about 40 minutes here until the market opens. And like I said at the top of the call here, and I really appreciate you going over all that stuff. I do have some more questions for you. But yeah, just to reiterate, there is no real news that's going to be coming out in this market until much later. It's going to be focused highly on Fed speakers today. So we will have to see what happens with the injection of liquidity that comes at 9 o'clock, 9:15, 9:25. There may be some good trades there. I'm looking for potentially a continuation trade. If we kind of fight above this overhead supply area, there could be a nice little target up towards 769. Of course, talking about this overhead supply area that we've been tracking for quite some time and seeing if we can burst up above that and potentially target that. If that's the case, we would have a nice trade, or we can be more patient, waiting for a reversal up in that area, just watching to see if we have any heavy offers that are coming in across the tape that will start to reject this, and then we could see this coming back down to the downside here. It's definitely one of those days where, I'm up $5,300. Coach Dakota's up almost $10,000 today. And it's one of those days where, what he was talking about, where you want to protect those profits, you want to lock things up. One thing that I see a lot of people struggling with often is not knowing when to stop. And it's a very common question people have. For me personally, my advice to anybody asking about whether or not you should be stopping for the day is simply based on your read of the market and your read of your own mental capital. If you're low on mental capital, you shouldn't be continuing to trade. I know Coach Dakota is exhausted and he's a man of the people here. By the way, can we drop some W's in chat for Coach Dakota here? Can we drop some W's in the YouTube chat for Coach Dakota showing up dead tired, showing us this amazing trade that he took on the Nikkei, sharing his wisdom with us. He's had, I've been trading for a decade. Coach Dakota has been trading for 14 years out here. He is very seasoned when it comes to trading. Wow, look at all those W's. Thank you, everybody. Really appreciate that. And Dakota, I want to get your feedback on when is your time to lock it up for the day. I know that we're up, we're up good amounts of money today. I'm seeing you up almost $10,000. How much does that play a factor versus your mental capital? How do you judge when is a good time to stop trading?
Oh man, so much. Yeah, real quick. This is Top Step, guys. I know that I've seen some chats about Apex, right? That's the other prop firm. I still get freaking. I made a mistake, Ribs, where I signed up, and I hate whenever I do this. So, however they get my emails, then I just have to send stuff to the spam box. I think that's one of them, right? Every single time I look at my phone, no joke. I think I got one this morning. I legit got one this morning. It was, I wonder if I'm not going to show it on stream. That would not be right of me.
We
But
just say
sure
it's
enough,
that one of those other funding companies.
Okay, it is one of those other funding, but I hate when that happens. I'm like, it sucks. I get like this 80% off sale every time I wake up in the morning. I'm like, oh, go through my emails. That was this morning. I got one of them. I'm like, oh gosh.
So you're trading in 3 Top Step XFA accounts today. So that is real money that you're going to be able to take home here. Let me switch over to your screen because I think you just entered in a trade here.
Yeah. I got into a short again. We're starting to break through. Like once again, 5-minute chart. Let me bring up this 5-minute chart here, and while I go through this, here's another one. Right, 3-bar reversal. Here's a 5-minute chart. We just started to break down. So to me, this is still a valid trade. And here's something, and sometimes this is like me banging my head against the wall. To be honest, this is where I start when we start getting choppy. If the trade setup is still valid, I will take it. The trade setup was valid here. I took it. It's still valid, We started to get that reversal. To me, it's still valid. It's still going to be valid looking for reversals until we start breaking up and breaking out of this. If we continue to push up, then fine, I'm wrong. I have to accept it. I just have to take the loss. But if the trade is still valid, I will take it. And I think that helps answer the question. What you were saying is, when do I call it quits? When do I give up? Not give up, but just say, I've made my money for the day. I'm going to be done. I don't have a set time where I just say, okay, at this time I'm going to go ahead stop, or I don't have a set goal of saying, I'm up this much money. I'm now going to call it, or I'm down this much money. I just follow my strategy. If the trade sets up and the risk is there, like the risk reward, the risk management is there, I just place the trade. I know that sounds weird or interesting, whether it's the New York session, if I'm sitting in front of my computer screens and I'm analyzing the market and there's a good trade setup and the risk rewards there and everything is following my strategy, I will place the trade. During my slow markets class, I'm lucky if I get 1 or 2 trades. Like last night, I had just 1 trade, 1 Nikkei trade. It lasted 13 hours. That's where all my profit came from. 1 trade. If it sets up, I'm in it. Great. During the New York session, markets move a bit quicker. You can see I was already in 1 trade. This is my second trade. I'm actually looking at this, to be honest, Rips, as one big trade. Trade setup, I guess we could say, where I'm trying to get it into a short here. I might get stopped out. I might get stopped out of this trade. And then if it sets up again, I'll bang my head against the wall, follow my trading plan almost to a flaw. And if it sets up, maybe I take a loss here. If it sets up again, I'll get into it, maybe take another loss. And there's times where I'll take 3, 4 losses in a row, going for a 4-to-1 risk reward, going for that trade opportunity. And then sometimes maybe I'm 4 or 5 losses into it, and then it sets up again. I just take it, and sometimes it will work out. Where if I would have taken 2 or 3 losses in this, and I still would have been in, okay, trade sets up again, I get into a short, and I have $100 loss here, there, and next thing I know, I'm down $500. And then I happen to get in, and then we finally get that sell off, and I make $600 off of it. Then I'm like, well, great, 6 losers, 1 winner, and I'm still profitable. So sometimes it's like that. It's not often, but it's one of those where I do it to a flaw, and some of my worst losing days is when we have something like this, and I get multiple setups, and I take loss, small loss, small loss, small loss, small loss, and then I'll hit maybe like down $1,500, and then I'll say, you know what, I'm just not reading the markets right. Something's going on. Maybe I'm too tired. Go, just take a break. Go for a walk. Go hang out. We all need something, right? We can't just sit here and force ourselves to trade, because we should be in a position where we don't have to trade. And I hate when traders say that urge, that feeling that we get, it's almost like primitive, where we have to be watching the markets. We have to know what's going on in the markets. We have to be in the markets. We have to be, placing these trades. And that's the exact opposite mindset that you really need to just practice that patience. I think we were seeing MP do that, to be honest, is, when we first started Top Step, MP was really into it. He was in trades. And then now recently he's kind of being a lot more patient, being a lot more selective. And I think, and to me, in my point of view, his trading is starting to improve doing so. And I love that. We never need to be in a position to where we have to trade.
So just to touch on what you were saying there, how do you, and I know this is something with a lot of newer traders that they struggle with, how do you avoid the days where you die by a death of 1,000 cuts? I know that some traders will take your advice that you just spoke on and sort of run with it, and then they'll turn that into a hyper scalping day and potentially hit their maximum daily loss limit because they're in a trade, it doesn't work immediately, they're back out of that trade, now it starts to work, they're back in it. So what is your best advice to traders like that turn that kind of voice in their head that says, hey, the trade idea is still right, I'm going to get back in? You're not doing that at all. And in fact, you're exercising an immense amount of patience on this. You saw the right entry on this follow-up trade here. You took it, but you're not looking to get out. You're not trying to get willy-nilly with this trade. You're not nervous about it. Can you talk us through what that kind of process looks like to help traders out there who are potentially falling into that trap of hyper scalping?
Yeah. This is a great stream, Rips. I love this. This is great Q&A. Yeah, because like I said, sometimes we need someone to ask these great questions that probably everybody wants to know, and maybe they don't know how to ask that question, or maybe they're too a little shy, or like not able to ask these questions in the right way, which is great. But for myself, yeah, there's a point in times where you can only bang your head against the wall so many times, right, before you get a headache or before the wall breaks something. And very much, I've been trading for a long time. I know myself, I know my trading. But as new traders, it's very much, I think you have the shot clock we mention all the time. Sometimes you maybe put a trade limit. Say, hey, I'm going to take 10 trades today, and I'm going to look to take 10 really good trades. Maybe it's, if you have 3 losses in a row, you just call it a day. You could set these restraints on yourself to make sure that you're properly managing your strategy. Set those limits on yourself. Make sure that any of those limits that you're setting on yourself evolves around risk management. Like, maybe I'm only risking 500 today. If you get to that be done. If you have 3 losses for the day, and say that's for you, and you've noticed that in your statistics, whenever you have 3 losses in a row, then you typically hit your daily loss limit. And if you notice that in your trading, then you have 3 losses in a row, call it quits, because probabilities are you're going to hit your daily loss limit based off of your own personal trading. So it's basically customizable, and it's very personal into your own trading. Top Step does a great job at having a daily loss limit and forcing ourselves to do it, which if there wasn't a daily loss limit, there'd be much more blown accounts. I've done it in my personal, I've done it in my personal accounts before, where I would love to have had daily loss limits when I first started learning how to trade. It would have saved me a whole lot of money. And as pissed off as I might be at not being able to trade for the day, we just need that, right? Because if I was in 15 contracts and it rallies up and I say I hit my daily loss limit, and the next thing I know, the market just starts to tank, and I'm like, dang it, I knew it was going to sell off. That was a valid trade setup. I just was in too heavy, and now I hit my daily loss limit. And sometimes that's the worst thing that can happen to you, is when you break rules or you have bad trading and it works out, then you think it's okay. Very much like kids. I don't. Do you have any kids, Rips?
I don't currently, but perhaps we'll have some mini traders here in the future.
Yes. Yeah. Yes. I see it happen a lot in kids. Whenever they do something bad, or they do something that they shouldn't, like bad habits, whatever it is. I'm trying to think of an example. And they get away with it, then they continue to do it. But it's up to the parent to know what's good for the kid and to discipline them, say, you don't do that, smack their hand. And then they learn, and they learn the right thing, right? Whereas, sure, you have a stove, you put your hand on the stove, you get burnt. Hopefully that's how trading is. You hit your daily loss limit, you get burnt, and you don't do it again. But we're just a bunch of big kids trying to figure out this market. And sometimes we need that person in our lives, either a coach or a company using a daily loss, whatever it is, to help guide us. And we need to be humble enough to know that we need that guiding. We need that direction, because we're all here for a reason. If you're a consistent, profitable trader, then sure, you be that guide, help other traders out. But 99% of the traders I talk to on Discord and online, they do need some type of guidance or help.
Yeah, it's funny that you bring up this dynamic about, the parent and the child. And it's really interesting because, in my live account, it was probably about 2 weeks ago, I had my live account opened at the end of December, and I started trading it in January. It's not about 2 weeks ago. I was probably down about $2,000 on the day in my live account. And I felt like I didn't have enough room because my daily loss limit on that account is $3,000. So I call Mick up, because if you're a live trader, you get Mick's private number. I call Mick, who is the head risk manager over at Top Step. He answers the phone. He says, "Hey, what's up, Rips?" And I go, "Hey, listen, I'm $1,000 away from my maximum daily loss limit. Can you open me up just a little bit more?" And he says one thing to me, and he says, "Are you sure about that?" And the moment he said that, I said, "You know what? You're right. I'm done trading for the day." And he's like, "Exactly." And he was so happy to hear that. And it was just that I needed to hear that voice of him saying, "Are you sure about that?" Because I was trading off of fumes. And this is one of the benefits of trading on a Top Step account, whether you're in a combine, whether you're in an XFA, whether you're on a live account. That maximum daily loss limit, although it sometimes maybe you're in a heated moment when you're on tilt or something like that, it actually does save you in the long run, because like Dakota had the same experience I had when trading on live accounts. You don't have that maximum daily loss limit unless you set it up with your broker. I rarely ever did. I mean, I think I had a very large maximum loss limit on some of my accounts, but I rarely ever set it up to something that was manageable. And I would often fall into the trap where I'd have huge days that would be followed by sessions of euphoria. And I'd take that euphoria into the market the next day, like a baggage handler does, bringing yesterday's baggage into today's trades. And then I'd bring all that baggage, and then I'd take that euphoria and I'd trade like a maniac. And then I'd give back the huge day I had a little bit more, and maybe even weeks and weeks of hard work. So that maximum daily loss limit in Top Step has definitely saved my skin more often than not. So I'm really happy that you touched on that.
Yeah, 100%. Mick sees it all the time, right? He sees the true behind the scenes of how everyone's trading and all that, where he gets phone calls all the time, I guarantee you, with live traders. Move my daily loss limit. Can I increase my size? Doing this. And he knows, right? He's like, yeah, usually, I can't speak for him, but I could only imagine what goes behind the scenes where he gets a phone call and like, yeah, can I move my daily loss limit? And then maybe he gets convinced, or maybe he works with a trader, and he's like, oh, I'm maybe they have some prop bets behind the scenes. I would love to be a fly on the wall. Like, look, this guy's moving his daily loss limit to like 4,500. What's the odds of him hitting it? Probably almost 100% of the time.
Yeah, that is true. By the way, 9 a.m. came and went. We did have an ejection of liquidity here. Just a quick check on the Mag 7. We are seeing Apple starting to rally a little bit alongside Microsoft. We talk about this often either in this channel or on Top Step TV, looking for that confluence across the board. And we have had not a lot of confluence lately across the Mag 7. Things are ripping right here. I saw you just got out of your trade. Nice risk management there, Dakota. There was a couple of folks in here asking the question. I do want to bring those questions to light here, talking about what is your stop loss regularly on a trade, and can you touch on a little bit more of your risk management strategy, because that was just excellent risk management getting out of that trade right there.
I don't risk more than $300 a trade.
Is that a hard cap always?
Yeah, $300 to $400. It's based off a percentage of my account. I'm trading a 150K account. A 0.25% of that is $375, I believe. So between $300 to $400 is what I like to risk. If I get something cheaper, then I will take it, which is great. It would be a great opportunity. Just like that. I think that first one was like minus 150. I don't know. You guys are watching on stream. I just took another loss. That looks like it was like $200 or something. But yeah, I don't mind taking, $150 loss here, $250. Of course, eventually it will add up, but those are multiple swings at the plate, as you guys hear us at Top Step. Multiple swings at the plate, not risking a bunch of money at one time. And yeah, I think that's as good as it gets. But I might be ended up getting into another one right here.
I do see some exhaustion coming up there, up at 750s in the NQ. And this is, again, we were talking about this. This is controlled risk here versus jumping into a trade because you're bummed that you lost a trade. This is controlled risk where you're looking for certain areas of the market structure and you're looking for the order flow to play out in a certain way that reconfirms your original thesis. There's a big stark difference, and I think newer traders really need to clarify between the two. And maybe you can touch on this a little bit, Dakota. The difference between if you're chasing an emotion in a trade versus chasing the original thesis to be solidified.
Yeah, like I said, I was saying this before. I don't mind banging my head against the wall a few times if this trade's still valid. This is where it gets a little bit sketchy for me right now. We're starting to push higher. This is pre-market. Like I said, I haven't traded this session very often, so it's been a while. And I'm sitting here watching. I have a 5-minute chart up where we're still in that zone that we could see a sell-off. I might just take another loss here. I don't mind spreading out my losses between like 3 or 4 trades rather than just holding on to a loss and just having one bigger $600 loss. I like to rather have like, 120, 120, 120 to add up to a bigger loss, because I'm taking better opportunities, right? Instead of holding, some traders I would have watched where I got into short, say down here, and they're holding all the way up here, and that might add up to $600 or $700. I'd rather just get stopped out, re-enter the trade, get stopped out, re-enter the trade, because you could always get into a trade, right? Rather than just continuing to hold. We're just so bullish. Yeah, this
Mark
might be my last one, and I think I was saying it earlier, like, how do you short this market? We're continuing to push higher. And then here I am taking losses on shorts.
It's going to happen, and the thing is not getting into a trade and then immediately having your thesis be negated, picking right spots. Yep. And I think that you're picking very, very nice entries. You're doing it on very manageable risk. You're doing it on single lot trades. And right now we're just ripping and roaring here to the top side. Just going really quick over to TradingView here. We talked about this a little bit. we are kind of looking for a potential rejection up here at 769. If we do break through that, do remember that that would be a large area of pop stops, although it might be not as big as we would assume. I mean, we do have this little wick to go off of here, this set of wicks on the 15 minutes. So if it does wick up like that, we could have a rejection. However, you do have to imagine all of the buy stops that are going to be placed above this area. Now, why would there be buy stops? Well, for all the folks who are short this market, they're going to have buy stops somewhere above that range. You're going to have the smart money or larger institutions probably place their stops a little bit higher, but you will have a potential, a little bit of retail there, and you'll have twofold. You have buy stops for folks who are trying to protect their trade on a short, or you'll have buy stops that are from people who are looking to capitalize on that bursting up through that area with momentum here. So again, this is something where you can be patient on a trade like this, or you can jump into the price action if you see something that considers, the order flow is showing you something in the trade that is consistent with what your thesis is on your trade, and maybe you're jumping in. But for me right now, I'm happy to be waiting. We're pretty close to the market open here, and I will potentially be waiting for that market open before I jump into anything here. So that's my thoughts on. I see, Dakota, you're still holding this trade here. What are your thoughts going up towards that potential area of 769?
Yeah, I think you've traded this pre-market a lot more than I am, and to be honest, sitting on your hands is probably the right thing to do. As you were saying, everyone who's short, their buy stops are up there. I mean, that's pretty much where my buy stop is. My hard stop for this. I'm gonna watch it. I think I'm going to end up taking a loss on this trade as well. 3 trades, 3 losses is what this is looking like, guys, which I'm fine with it as long as I'm not, giving up like $500-$600 trades at a time. And like I said, this is raw trading here live, and this is real trading, guys. It's boring, it's hard, it's a grind sometimes, and there's losses. There really is losses. I mean, it's very easy to place trades and only post wins, right? Like, this is trading. There's going to be losses. It's not all, what do they call it? Rainbows and butterflies.
Rainbows and puppy dogs. And that's a great point to illustrate too, is that this is the reality of trading. There's a big part of your trades, depending on what your hit rate is. My hit rate right now on my live account is very high. It's about 85%. It's an extraordinarily high hit rate, but that's not something that usually is sustainable unless you're always picking amazing entries for your trades, which can be somewhat exhausting, and you could potentially miss out on larger moves. I like to be settled, throughout my career. I've been in between high 60s, 75, 78%, somewhere in that range, about a 10% plus or minus range in there. And that's where I'm comfortable. And what does that mean? It means 4 trades out of every 10 I'm potentially losing. And those can come in streaks back to back. It can be 8 trades out of 20. You can hit 8 losses in a row. And then the other 12 trades that you're going to hit are going to be winners. You just have to understand that, when you're looking on social media, you're watching other streams, you're watching other people. If they're not consistently showing you open trades the moment that those trades go on, it's likely that they're hiding something from you. And that's giving you a bad representation of what trading actually is. And this is why on the stream here and on Top Step TV, and if Dakota starts to stream at all, it's going to be very transparent, showing you the reality of this. And it should help you in the sense that you realize that if you have a trade on and it's a losing trade, it's okay. It's part of trading. It's not something to panic about. It's not something to feel ashamed about. Losses are part of this game. It's like thinking that, imagine if you're playing an advantage deck of blackjack and you have the best count in the world. Imagine thinking that you're never going to lose that hand. Even if the count is exactly in your favor, you do have a potential of losing that hand. Same thing goes for poker. If you have pocket aces, they're going to get cracked by pocket kings from time to time. It's just how statistics work. And hiding that from newer traders, or even veteran traders, with the guise of social media saying that, oh, I'm a 100% winner, I never lose, that's just ridiculous. So just understand that real traders are taking real losses out there, but how you manage your risk is everything. And what Dakota is showing here is how to manage your risk. He's not aggressively adding into these trades. He's not getting fatigued when he's seeing the trade go against him. He's managing his risk. He's walking through it. And that is the value of watching this type of stream.
Yeah, nope, exactly. Like you said, I'm a big poker player, and sometimes you have aces, and sometimes they get cracked by like 7-2 offsuit. It's just something ridiculous, right? I'm watching here. We're at that last level. Holding on to this a little bit more. I'm watching a 5-minute chart also, by the way, guys. What else was I going to say? I was going to say something else. I lose about 75% of my trades, guys.
Wow.
That's the reality.
Wow.
That's hard to realize. I had one trade last night, right? One trade last night. Made 10K off of it. You're seeing 3-4 trades right now. Little loss, little loss, little loss. It's hard to get used to losing so frequently. But just knowing that when you do have a winning trade, it will make up for losses in that aspect. When I'm looking for 3-to-1, 4-to-1 risk rewards, that's just typically how it is. Sometimes it is hard to lose so much. I'm going to add on to a second contract here. This is an area where we've rallied so far up. I'm looking at, we're getting right into the market open. We're up pretty, I don't want to say pretty big because we could always go higher. Anything can happen. I add into a second contract, like you said, the higher the probable strategy, the more confident I feel in a trade, I will add to it. We'll see if we could get that pullback now, right before for the New York Open.
Very nice. And on that, I'm going to take a quick restroom break here. If you don't mind holding up the show while I take a quick little restroom break and just sort of, I know we have some questions in chat. If you don't mind entertaining the folks and responding to their questions, I'll be back in about 2 minutes here.
Yeah. I'm going to focus on this trade, guys. So I'm not going to go through some of your questions real fast. I'm going to focus a minute on this trade. This is a 100-tick chart. I want to manage this trade effectively. I see you guys asking some questions. So real trading's boring. Sorry. And I am freaking tired. So let's just watch this together and I will manage this. Yes, it's a 100-tick chart. I'll get to your questions as soon as I'm done with this. I have a 5-minute chart open that I'm watching, but I'm managing my trade on this 100-tick chart. So let's watch this. Typically, you don't want to add into losers, but over here on the 5-minute chart, I'll just give you maybe a brief preview of what I was looking at. We have these highs. We went up to these highs. We started to have a little bit of a slowdown, and I added onto my short. So if we break up to these highs, great. That sucks. The market's just too strong for these shorts. But if we're going to have a reversal and a big pullback, I could imagine it's around these highs. And we're right before the New York Open. We're going to open up with a gap, right? Like that is something I believe. I'm not a gap trader in terms of I don't plan on that. Over here on the 5-minute chart, we're starting to show some consolidation. We had that nice little sell-off here from 62 down to 55. So I'm just going to manage this trade.
All right, we are back here. Thank you so much for filling the airwaves, Mr. Coach Dakota. Really do appreciate that. So yeah, he is still in this trade here, and he is going to be managing that risk. Any questions in chat? I saw that there were some questions about stop losses. I think we went over that a little bit. My stop losses, when I put those on, are generally about 60 ticks. Is there a fixed stop loss that you ever use, Coach?
Nope. I have a hard stop. I usually put it around support resistance. Like I was telling everybody, I am managing this trade, so I'm not 100% focused on the stream or the chat right now. I kind of want to just get in a position to where I don't have to manage it, so it might take a minute.
Yep, no worries. So we are coming up at the quarter of the hour here. And once Coach is in a place where he can kind of, you folks must understand, it's extremely difficult to stream just on a streaming basis. It's extremely difficult to trade while streaming, and then it's even more difficult to trade while streaming in front of 1,400 people, which is what we have right now. Thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in. If you don't mind, do me a favor here and go ahead and click that lucky like button. Make sure you are subscribed to the stream with your notifications turned on, so that anytime that we do go live here in this channel, I do plan on having Coach Dakota back if he will entertain us here and be so kind, as well as potentially some other guests. I saw Coach Jay was in the chat as well. It could be really great to have have the other coaches from Top Step here on the stream, as well as potentially maybe some members here in Clubhouse. Speaking of Clubhouse, we do have a webinar that's going to be happening after the bell today. We're going to be talking about how to trade market inefficiencies and use setups in that. It's going to be really, really exciting. So I hope all of the members here in Clubhouse will join me for that one. That's going to be right at market close today, which should be pretty eventful at that time, given that we'll already be through a 10-year auction from the Treasury. It's a 10-year note auction. We have all of these Fed speakers today. If you missed it already at 11 a.m., we do have Adriana Kugler, who's a voter. She's a new voter. At 11:30, we do have Susan Collins. At noon, we have Thomas Barkin, who's a fan favorite in here. And then at 2 p.m., we do have the Federal Reserve Board Governor, Michelle Bowman. And Miss Bowman will be speaking without any kind of Q&A, so I don't expect that to stir all that much volatility. That will be on the heels of the Treasury's 10-year note auction. So very, very lackluster on data outside of that 10-year note auction today, but it should be still a very jam-packed day with a lot of different volatility events spread out from all of these Fed speakers here. So will be very, very interesting to watch that here. Tomorrow on this schedule, we do have the jobs data that's going to be coming out in the morning. We will be trading that together live on stream at 8:30. We're going to have the continuing and initial jobless claims. We're going to have the December wholesale trade sales, wholesale inventories. We're going to have a 4 and 8 week bill auction from the Treasury tomorrow. And we're also, for the grains traders out there, we're going to have the WASD. So it's going to be a jam-packed day on Thursday, and then we do have Barkin back again speaking tomorrow at 11:30. On Friday, we really don't have much news. It's mostly international news, but we do have the seasonal CPI factor revisions, which can stir up a little bit of volatility, and then that's pretty much it outside of the Fed survey of professional forecasters, which usually hasn't been that big of a deal. So we'll have to see how that kind of shakes out there. Jay Quinn in chat says, that chart looks different than mine. He's using a tick chart, and on a tick chart, it's entirely different than a time-based chart. So completely different. Any insights you want to offer about the trade or the tick chart, or are you still focused on your trading? I don't want to interrupt that.
I'm still focused. I mean, we're just kind of hesitating right here. What do we have? 15 minutes before the open, right? There is a possibility, 12 minutes before the open, there is a possibility we have a spike up, run for some stops, and then the drop. We see that happen all the time, right? Really run for some stop losses and then a sell-off. But I'm watching. I'm just like real trading. I was telling everybody when you left to the bathroom, real trading's boring. It's like sometimes watching paint dry, and I might be just sitting here being quiet, being focused, trying to get into a spot here. I would like to see us break below this little pivot right around the low 54s, maybe 50. Yeah, pretty much where my entry is, right? If we start to break below that, I'm going to move my stop loss. I might close out of one trade and just let a trade run into the open, or one contract run into the open. Or I'm going to be one of those guys where I have a bounce up, I get stopped out, and then we reverse.
Yeah, that was pretty much what happened yesterday on the open yesterday. I was trading it live on Top Step TV. That did kind of scream right up to 769 and it had a harsh rejection. So we'll be seeing, we're much closer to that level now this morning. So we might just blow through that level off the open here. And of course, Dakota's talking about his trade. He's well aware of the risks that are happening. And you can hear he's very cognizant about that as he's talking about this stuff. He knows that the market open is coming. He knows what to expect. He has all of the risk laid out on his table so that when the trade does kind of open up, when the market does open up for New York Open here, he's not surprised about any of the outcomes. And this is something that's very important. I want to touch on two things that he talked about. Number one is having that trade plan completely mapped out before you're putting on a trade so that there aren't any surprises there. You're not getting sidetracked by price action where it's doing something and you didn't really plan for how you're going to react when that happens mentally. And this is why I say coming up with that trade plan is paramount to your success, knowing about if the price action did this, what am I going to do? How am I going to react? If the price action does this, how am I going to react on that? The second thing is him talking about how trading is boring. A lot of folks don't have a lot of patience in their trades. And once the trade starts working in their favor, they're looking for the exit door where they need to be learning to relax and let that trade kind of play out. And that goes both ways. A lot of people can find patience when the trade is going against them because they want the trade to come back to their entry. Whereas if the trade is going in your favor, it's really difficult to find that patience to kind of stick with that trade. So that's something to think about there.
I might be getting stopped out here. I might be getting stopped. We're getting really close.
It is running right up to that 69 level right now.
It is. We're right there.
I love the patience that you exercised on this trade too. Not really worrying about if it's going to be a losing trade, having that the trade planned out. It does suck, but you were prepared for that trade the entire time. It was something where
let me scroll down just a little bit so you guys could watch it. You can watch me get stopped out. We're right there.
Very, very close here. But yeah, this is, again, it definitely want to be highlighting that, there's at no point in this trade was he panicking. There was a time where the liquidity seemed to want to roll over. He added in a second lot, and he respected his risk his entire time of having this trade on. And that's really what you want to mimic, because Coach Dakota has been trading for 14 years here. He's been a consistently profitable trader for quite some time. He's number 6 or 7 on the leaderboard right now out of all of the top step traders. And so there's a lot to learn from this. And I think that folks out there, they learn a lot more in watching a professional trader like yourself take losses and how they manage those losses, because wins are easy. Wins are great. It's very easy to have a winner and let that trade work, and it's a lot less stressful. But how you've managed this trade in a losing position has just been a masterclass on how to really take hold of your emotions, be stoic in that trade, and really not be bothered by the tick-to-tick price action. Just letting your trade play out. Like you said, it can be very, very boring. And that's something that you newer traders out there, even veteran traders, should take note of. This is how you want to be reacting to trades when you're in a losing position. You don't want to be looking to change your trade plan once it's on. You don't want to be modifying things quickly. You want to be looking at how did I put this trade on? Am I sticking to my plan the entire time? And if I get stopped out, I get stopped out.
Yep, it's interesting because one thing, I think this might be a good example of, I can have a little bit wider of a stop loss because I'm not scaling in too big of a position, right? Because if you were in 5, 10 contracts, 15 contracts, you'd have hit your daily loss limit, right? I'm only in 10 points of heat in reality. You can see a 100 tick chart. A 100 tick chart makes it a lot more dramatic and it moves a lot more quick. So it's very, very emotional. But
what is the tick size you're using on this chart? Sorry to interrupt.
Yep, this is a 100 tick. So it moves fast. This is very, very, very fast. I'm looking at a 5-minute chart. I watched the 5-minute chart. In retrospect, this is 5 points. I'm only down 5 points. So even though this tick chart may look dramatic over here on the 5-minute chart, it's not that big. Like, this is not a big move. We're also pre-New York session. And you guys know at the open, we move 5, 10 points in like a blink of an eye. So even though this looks dramatic from a candlestick perspective over here on the 100 tick, over on the 5-minute, not much is really happening. We're kind of still right in this little zone, and 10 points of heat that I just took is not very big. 10 points on one lot, what is it, 150, 10 points on 2 lots, $400.
Right. Yeah.
Or yeah, I did the math right there.
$20 a handle, 10 handles, $200, 2 contracts, $400. Yeah. So again, it's all about managing your emotions in the trade, having the trade plan on in your head before you actually click the buttons, knowing what your risk is going to be. And that'll allow you to effectively manage your risk and not get scared if the position is going against you here. We are perking above that level here. If I can just bring it over to TradingView, we are perking above that level here. This is the 15-minute chart. This is the area of interest we're watching right up here. This is kind of the no man's land between our two levels here. If we do have this perking up and kind of rejecting, I do think that we'll get back down to this 35, 37 level. Yep. But right now the market is just driving like crazy. It's just going crazy. I think
by the way, I'm out. Yep, I got stopped out.
So that is the injection of liquidity that we do generally see at 925. And by the way, even though that's a losing trade, Dakota, I think that was a fantastic trade. And I do appreciate you being here live on stream. It's very difficult to trade live on stream. So I really think that the folks out here really do appreciate you putting that trade on, walking us through your risk, walking us through your trade plan. Very, very helpful for everyone out here. I do really, again, I want to say how much we appreciate that.
Yeah, of course. It's setting up again, guys. Am I going to do this in front of everybody? Am I going to sit here and take three losing trades in a row?
It's the fourth one that always works, as they say.
is that? No, it's I'm just saying it might be setting up again. I'm going to watch it. We're getting ready for the New York Open. I might be hands off for 5 minutes, but remember, on the New York Open, we would be gapping up. And so I think the question now is going to be, we're gapping up near all-time highs. We're just about near all-time highs, right? What is it? Less than 30 points away from all-time highs.
We're 1%
So
off all-time highs right now, folks.
It's going to be interesting. Where do we gap up and go for all-time highs? Do we gap up? Do we fill that gap before? This is going to be an interesting open.
Yep. Open is going to be with us in about 3 minutes and 30 seconds here, folks. So if you do have a position on, please be wary that if you have a stop that's even within 20 handles, there's a good chance it could be tagged here off the open. Now, on the open, there's going to be a lot of orders that are getting matched right now. We have the market sort of tooling up to the upside here. So we could have some folks that are taking profit or be adding into their position. A lot of these options dealers are going to be open for business right at 9:30, and these liquidity providers are open at the same time. So it's going to be a rush to get the best prices on these contracts, on these shares of these equities that are, wow, look at, we are really ripping up now. That is definitely squeezing like crazy. So yeah, we did have a big burst of momentum here going over into Bookmap here. Big burst of momentum there to the top side, sweeping that liquidity above. We talked about this earlier, multiple times, sweeping this liquidity in this zone here. So really, I am happy to be hands off here. I think Dakota's feeling the same way. Just gonna be hands off here into the open. I do want to see if there's a potential for me to grab a scalp here off the open. And that's what I'm gonna be looking for, a potential scalp as if we get continuation or failure in this range. Are you the type of person, I know you don't ever trade New York Open and you're not much of a momentum trader, you're more of a stoic trader. Are you the type of person who would ever jump into something in the first 5 minutes, or do you generally wait for the initial balance to kind of take hold?
Either or. Like I said, I mean, we're getting ready to open. I still think we could have a little bit of a fill to the downside.
Yeah, we have created some inefficiencies on the 15-minute here that we could be looking to fill. Let me go ahead and just draw that here. This is a 3-candle pattern that we're going to be talking about in the webinar today, but it's just that wick to that wick, and then we'll go ahead and grab that inefficiency there. So there is a good chance that we can retrace somewhere to around 750 again. 750, there was a big bout and battle of liquidity there earlier, so we will have to see. I do see that you are back in a trade here and taking that.
I don't want to say unfortunately, but it's set up again. It's the exact same setup for me, and I think I might just be banging my head against the wall. What do we're 2 minutes from the open.
Yep,
so
about 90 seconds
hold
now.
This one. Let's see if we can get a bit of a sell-off.
Okay, and I'm going to switch over to my screen on NinjaTrader right here, and you can see right above Dakota's head there, it shows his unrealized P&L, so you can follow along with his trade there. I will be looking to see here off the open what happens, and we'll trade it as it lies, as we say. We are just about 1 minute now until the open. 1 minute, everybody. Please make sure that you're calm, cool, and collected. Please make sure that you have your trade plans in place before you put that trade actually into the market. And just trade with patience today. There's going to be a lot of momentum here off the open, but then we're going to have a little bit of a lull in the market as we are waiting for market participants to react to first Adriana Kugler's speech at 11 a.m. and then that Treasury 10-year note auction out at 1 p.m. today. All right, just over 30 seconds here, folks. Looking at the S&P going for 5,000 here. My goodness gracious. What a rocket ship. Yep, S&P looks like it wants to run for 5,000. 20 seconds, folks. Please, again, trade to your plan. Trade with discipline. Don't be out of pocket today. It's just one day. It's just a regular old Wednesday. There's going to be plenty more trading sessions in your future, so today is not a day to be a hero. Trade with discipline. 5 seconds, folks. Good luck, everybody. Good luck. A little bit of a burst to the upside, but kind of contained, to be honest with you. Looks like we want to sweep below these 70s now, potentially getting back down to that 50 level we were talking about, that fair value gap, that inefficiency. I'm going to go over to Dakota's screen here since he's having a nice trade here developing.
Yeah, you want to have a heart attack on the 100-tick chart?
So we are breaking down. We're now looking to see if we can break below those 60s in the NAS. Not as violent as an opening as I thought we would have had, but I do want to see this breaking down for your trade here. I'm rooting for you. Tesla is coming down. Amazon is up. We do have S&Ps are really looking for that coveted 5,000. Now we do have to imagine we might have a burst of liquidity through those 5,000s and then a rejection. We're right now just about one handle away from hitting 5,000, the S&Ps. NQ failing towards the 60s. A little bit of divergence right now between the NQs and the S&Ps. Coach Dakota up very nicely here on this 2-lot trade, looking beautiful here, tooling down into that 50 level that we were talking about here, looking over at Trading View. That's what we're looking for, coming back into that gap. Looks like Coach Dakota covered one there on the bid.
Yep.
Very nice trading.
I need to have you for my classes, man. Just great commentary.
I love this. This is so again,
focus,
folks. This is incredible. This just goes to show that Coach Dakota took 3 losses on the way up, but has now recovered most of those losses there. Just trading a 2-lot position there. You don't have to make hero plays. You just have to stick to your plan, stick to your thesis, and really just be stoic and calm in your positions. It's just a masterclass of trading this morning from Coach Dakota here.
You can see how volatile this 100 tick chart is. That's why I don't trade off of it. I'm looking at a 5-minute still, and it looks like we're starting to show that gap fill, I guess, here at the open. Like I said, I don't trade the open, guys. I don't trade New York Open, but here I am for you. Same trade concepts, same setups. I'm probably going to look to trail this. I might just get out and call it good. But first time I'm trading open for a very long time.
Can we drop some W's in the chat again for Coach Dakota here, sharing his wisdom with us, sharing these amazing, beautiful trades here, sticking to his plan. Just amazing, amazing trading, folks. This is the type of trading that you really want to mirror. This is the trading level that you want to focus on getting to. This is somebody who's been trading for 14 years, and they're putting on a real masterclass of patience, putting on their trade plan, letting it work, and just really just taking it in stride here. Just beautiful, beautiful execution today by Coach Dakota here. Just beautiful.
Thank you.
So we are coming down here. We talked about this on Trading View here. We did talk about a potential retracement into this fair value gap. 50% retracement would be right below 1750 there, which is where Coach Dakota is kind of eyeing for potentially taking a fill to the downside here. He is currently up on his second lot. He did have a 2-lot trade here. He peeled one off in the profit, and this one is kind of bouncing between $100 and $300 worth of profit. I do believe that he's waiting for that flushacito to come down potentially below 50s here. So we'll see if that comes into fruition there.
Yeah, I'm sitting in a comfortable spot. Took profit on that one contract, and now I could just sit here and let it play out. I have a bit of a wide stop loss, and we'll just see how the market shakes out. We opened up pretty big, so we have a nice gap up, and if we do get a nice sell-off, I'm going to be happy to take advantage. Maybe I start to trail it down, and maybe we catch a nice winner for a test of 700. Maybe we go down. You never know.
This is definitely looking to potentially test these 50s. We did just have that break of 50. Beautiful, beautiful stuff there. Now Coach Dakota sitting up over $400 on that final lot there. Just a beautiful, beautiful trade, beautiful execution. The next level that we have in the NQ to the downside is 37 quarters here, and the market is looking rather heavy. We have Apple coming down, Tesla fading, Nvidia rolling over. We have the S&P rejecting off that 5,000 level, that whole number level. So we'll have to see if that's enough weakness to start to see people unwind their overnight longs here. That's what I'd be looking for if I was in this trade. I'm rooting for Coach Dakota here. I think that he was just really managing this well. I don't see any sweat coming down the brow of Coach Dakota here, and that is, again, something that you gain from trading for 14 years and being in the top 5 leaderboard on all of Top Step here. That doesn't come easy, folks.
I'm actually over here eyeballing this protein bar and getting ready to eat this and go maybe use the bathroom or something and let this trade play out.
Maybe hit a nap perhaps early too, because you're running on fumes right now, and that's even more impressive to see you running on fumes, nailing these trades, really locked in here. You just love to see it. This is professional level stuff here, folks.
Yeah, so like I said, I lose 75% of my trades, but it's like you've seen, $200 loss, $100 loss, small loss, small loss, small loss. And then, bam, right? I'm all the way back up to pretty close to where I started. We got that nice, beautiful down bar, bearish 5-minute bar. Let's see if we can have a follow through. Let's see if we could put a string down. A string of 5-minute candles to the downside together, making lower highs, making lower lows. And so I think one more push down, I might just close it and wait for another trade. Like I said, this is the first time I traded the New York Open for a very long time. We're only 5 minutes into the Open.
And it feels like a lifetime, doesn't it? This is what the New York Open does to you.
Man, you can see this 100 tick chart. It'll give you a heart attack watching it print and print and print. But 5 minute, there's only been one candlestick. It's just been it's a pretty big range candlestick from 7.78 down to 7.50. So a 28.5-minute bar. So we'll watch it.
Yep, this is showing a lot of weakness here. We haven't reclaimed over the temporary point of control here. Point of control that I'm tracking here on my screen is just at 757 halves, and that's just from the visible range volume profile. So just this move to the upside, I do want to see where most of the liquidity was contracted. And of course, that is kind of sticking out right here in this area. Let me go ahead and change that to a green block. But right here in this area, so if we are rejecting in this area, it would prove the thesis that Coach Dakota is looking here for, and that would be tooling back down to the high 40s, I'm sorry, the low 40s, high 30s in the NQ here. So just being patient, watching this, not really paying attention to the minutia of the tick by tick, which is vastly different from the style that I trade. I trade very much focused on each little tick of order flow, seeing if I can gather any clues, seeing if I can identify larger players on the tape, seeing if I can identify what folks are trying to do in certain areas of the market and trying to scalp around those things from time to time. And I think it's really great to see somebody who has a contrasting style here like Coach Dakota to show that, again, there is no one right way to do this. If you find something that's working for you, you just lean on into it. By the way, S&Ps here, let's get a quick check here on the E-mini S&P. This is kind of trending back to the top side here. We did not clench that 5,000. We got all the way up to 4,999 and a quarter. We have not hit that 5,000 yet. So you can imagine there are a lot of players who are kind of solidifying bids down here in this area, looking for liquidity, supporting that on the bid, looking to probably flip that liquidity up towards 5,000, knowing that there are going to be a lot of stops above that 5,000 area. But we are seeing a lot of divergence today. And let me just illustrate that really quickly here. Looking at Apple, we did have that going straight down, and that is diverting from what we've seen in Microsoft going straight up. Microsoft is the number two weight of the S&P 500 and the NASDAQ. Apple is number one weight. So seeing that divergence is not helpful for confluence trades. We've been talking about that often. It's been really, really difficult to have confluence across the board. And in fact, we're seeing heavy divergence right now between the NQ and the S&Ps. So I'm rooting for Coach Dakota here. We want to see this tooling down below the 50s here. If we do flush 50s and we do see continued weakness out of Meta, Nvidia, and Tesla, we could potentially see the NQ continuing to roll. As long as we are not clearing above this order flow area here where we did have these harsh rejections, I do think that Coach Dakota's trade is going to play out quite nicely here.
Yeah, I think I'm at a point where I don't really care what happens with this trade. I mean, of course, I want it to continue to make me money, but yeah, I mean, I finally got into a position where I feel comfortable, not needing to focus a lot less. I might just close this one out. If we do have a nice break, nice little push to the downside, I'll just buy at bid. I don't like using market orders to get out. It just depends, right? We're actually getting that push down.
Beautiful flush in progress right here. We are flushing below that fair value gap here. So that is what we do want to see. Target again for me, if I was in this short, would be about 37 quarters. And Dakota is just managing this beautifully. Okay. I think he just got out there on the bid, covering on the bid. Can we give it up here? Drop a W in chat for Coach Dakota. Almost up back to $10,000 after taking three small paper cuts on the way up.
Well, that was a whole lot of nothing, right? We were violent. My P&L is now violently unchanged.
I mean, you have to understand, I'm blown away by your composure throughout all of these trades here. I think you managed that so well. And again, hats off to you for doing that.
That's what we call a sack.
Yeah, that was definitely interesting. That was fun. Like I said, first time in a while, and then lost. And then now back to break even. Trading the same size, right? I mean, typically you'd think it's like loss, and then you're back to break even. Someone just oversizing or revenge trading. But like I said, I said it before. I lose 75% of my trades, but when I do have a winner, it makes up for him, right? I mean, of course, I did close that one out early. I'm going to go ahead and go use the bathroom, come back, and then eat the rest of this protein bar. And then maybe we'll look for another trade setup.
Very nice. All right, I'm going to go ahead and hide your screen for you here. There we go. So I am looking to follow this continuation here under that 37 quarters. I am going to try a one lot trade here on this one. And, I'm looking for this to have continued weakness through this area. My stop's up at 46 3/4. I do want to add on this if we do start to bounce here. I am playing with profits this morning, so I'm not very worried if this trade does come back against me. I do want to see continuation in this one down to 710. So we're going to see if we have weakness persisting back below the 30s here. If we do see that, I would be considering putting on a second lot here. Watching this approach down towards the 30s here. A lot of lower liquidity going a second lot on here, looking for the sweep back below these 20s. Very nice resolution here to the downside. We do have some liquidity to fight through. Looking for this 20 resolution, and we are running into a little bit of resistance there at 25s. So wanting to see as we get down here, this continued weakness and this pull back down to the downside here. So watching for this to roll on over here, looking for that weakness through 25. Again, we're watching to see if 37s are holding as a backstop here as well. There's that 25 pull, watching for weakness. It is kind of holding these 25s. I do want to see weakness through these 25s here. Big burst of volume coming in and back through those 30s. So just trying to manage our risk as long as we're staying weak below that 37 level. I do think that we can entertain some liquidity below those 25s. So that's what we're watching for here. Watching here back below the 30s. Still a little bit of liquidity being entertained there at those 30s. Good chance we could reject up towards that 37 level, and that's where I could get a little bit heavier in this position as long as we are finding a little bit of sell side here. Market is pushing up. We do see some weakness out of Google, however, which is giving me the impetus to hold on to this trade. Meta is very, very strong here. We are seeing Meta and NVIDIA bouncing up ever so slightly here. So I'm watching right around 37, whether or not this is going to hold for us. We do have some liquidity resting at 38 now. If we do sweep this liquidity to the top side, this could be an interesting reversal here. So watching for this right around 37. So taking that liquidity up through the 40s. My stop's at 46 3/4. I do just want to be patient on this, trying to give it a chance to resolve back down through that 37 area. This is why we use stops. If we're wrong, we just get stopped out on this trade and we just move on here. So watching to see if we have this rejection back down towards those 40s. Trying a third lot here, looking for the sweep back below 35 now. Wanting to be patient on this one, but trying to play this order flow. There's a fourth lot on there. Looking for this Dow to sweep below 30s here. So watching very carefully here. 35 is a big contention point. As long as we can flush that 35 area, I'll be keen on adding into this once more. So just watching this right below 40 now. Seeing if we have any kind of continued weakness through that 35 area. Adding into that for this flush right below 35. Really, really nice here. If we can get this resolution right to those 33s, that's the target that I'm looking for my first peel off on this trade. Watching right here at 35s again. A little bit of tool down and looking for 33s to clear out here. There's that push into the 33s. There's a big player resting at 33s that I'm trying for us to get through here. Trying to time this ever so slightly in the front of this trade. There's those 33s covering 2 there and covering, tried to cover 2 more there. Looking for a cover of 2 more. There we go. Covered some more there. Have one final lot as a runner. So looking for this to break down the 30s here. So just scalping in this range. There's that tougher breakdown we're looking for right below 30s, but we want to see a big flush of Cito now to the downside here. So watching this right under those 30s. And we just got stopped out there. So what does that bring our total up to here? Let's do a quick little vibe check. So we're at $5,300. That's going to be bringing us up to, do a little refresh here, $5,600. So a nice little $300 winner on that trade, just scalping around in that range, managing our risk effectively there, just around that. Adding on to the pullbacks as we had that little bounce up to the north side, really respecting our risk and making sure that we had everything in line there. So very volatile price action here. You can see on TradingView, big volume shelf that's sticking out right here. Welcome back, Coach Dakota. Good to see you.
Yep.
What's your interpretation of what's going on with the price action here? Any reads from you?
Yeah, I went and got a Celsius.
Whoa, look at, see, is this meant to be or what, folks? Check this out. What flavor are you rocking with over there?
I usually get like a pack, and it's usually like tropical. This is a Arctic vibe. I don't like it very much.
Can you see what flavor I have over here?
Let me see. I got it in my think.
It's meant to be. I tell you what.
All right, man. Whatever. Great thing.
I think we also have to talk about here too what the potential team name is going to be for our Top Step Trading League team.
Yeah. So sorry. This is what I have in mind. We have me. We have you. We have Isaac and then Justin, right? So I think what we could do is we could just come up with like a list. Like maybe I come up with 2 ideas, you come up with 2, maybe Isaac and Justin come up with 2 ideas, and then we put it up to a vote for the community. And then we kind of do like an elimination, right? Where we have all of ours own team name idea. We put it up for a vote, and then the top 3, then maybe we have everyone vote for top 10, and then the top 3 of those we put it up for a vote again, and then the number 1 becomes our team name. So maybe we do a vote here in chat for maybe a top 10, and then on Top Step TV on Friday we do another vote. Maybe you could do another vote with MP and the team for once we get a top 3, and let the Top Step chat and everybody decide on our team name, because you're going to be on Friday morning, right? And then
Friday morning I will be on Fast Markets. That is right.
Yes. Yep. And then I'm going to be on whatever. I don't know what the session is. Power Players on Friday as well. And then Isaac's also going to be on, I think, a little bit later in the afternoon on Top Step TV. So we're going to have a majority of our team on Top Step TV. So I'm thinking if we could narrow it down to top 3, and you could have a final vote for our team name with MP and the team during Fast Markets.
I think that's going to be a really good idea there. Yeah, so we'll figure out a way. We'll get a form published. I'll probably post. Here's what I'll do. I'll post a form on my Twitter, and it'll be a form where you can submit what your favorite team name is, and then we'll kind of distill down from all of those entries, and we'll get a top 10, and then we'll start voting on those here in chat 4 at a time, and then we'll kind of have a battle of the top names, and whatever everybody chooses is what we'll go with, and we'll have some cool jerseys, and we'll go through that all. It'll be a lot of fun. So I'm super excited about it. I mean, this is something I think is going to change this script for a lot of traders out there, especially futures traders. There's a lot of folks out there who haven't really been part of a great community, haven't been part of a supportive community, and I think that this is really going to foster that. I think that the Top Step Trading League is going to be fostering a lot of community spirit. And I think that when we actually do get together and trade in Vegas, it would be great to have some live coaching sessions with, of course, you, Coach Dakota, having some live trading sessions in person, some live coaching sessions. I think it'd be very, very beneficial. I think the tentative date right now for Las Vegas is sometime in June here. So that's what I hear. At least are the rumors right now.
It's about there. There's no exact date yet, but yeah, let's do it. If you want to come up with like maybe 2 or 3 with you and your community, I'll come up with like maybe 2 or 3 names, team names with me and my Slow Markets community. I have my fun little Slow Markets hoodie, and then I'll work with Isaac and get Justin to come up with 2 or 3, and then before Friday we could narrow it down to like top 3, top 4, maybe 1 from each team member. And then we have an overall vote. Let the community decide. Yeah, this is gonna be exciting. This is one of the first ones, right? We have the Shy City Locals, which is the Top Step. I
believe that's MP, Deanna, Hogue, and Andre. I believe are the 4 members of that team.
Yeah, I think that's it. The Shy City Locals, and then it's gonna be us.
Yeah, I think we're pretty stacked on the lineup. We have Isaac Rivera, who's also in the top 10. We have the number 1, who's anonymous, and then we have myself, who's struggling to get into the top 10. But I'll get there. I'm trying my hardest. I'll get there. As you folks know, it's extremely difficult to be trading on stream and all that. As you saw, Coach Dakota this morning, he managed it like a real champion here. Came out the other side on the profit. So really, really happy to see that. So now that we've had this opening range kind of opening up here and going over into trading view, we have painted down into that fair value gap, came back through it. Now we are back into this liquidity zone where we may potentially have rejection. Is this something, I know it's been a while since you've traded any kind of New York Open or anything like this. Is this something where you look for any kind of trading opportunities on this?
That's what I'm watching for right now. 5-minute chart. I mean, we kind of just had a pullback. I mean, if we're bullish, this was the pullback, right? We pull back. We're looking to buy over here on the 100 tick. Let me show you why I like the 100 tick.
Yep. Let me jump over to your screen here. There you go. Yeah.
I'm going to pull up. Let's see. I'm just going to wait a second to make sure that it looks okay. So here's the 5-minute chart, and you can see the 5-minute chart. Let me get it in a little bit better position for you guys.
Have you ever tried using the tabs at the bottom of NinjaTrader to tab between charts?
I did, but connecting them to like my Replicanto and switching between markets is a little bit hard. So I'm just going to do it this way for now. Like I said, this is our very first one like this.
It's always
we'll
going to get better,
out.
folks. Always going to get better.
Yep. So we had this rally, right? And then we had the pullback. And so maybe this is considered the pullback. We had a 3-bar reversal right here. And so maybe we get a continuation and get some all-time highs. Now, if we look at the 100 tick chart, this entire thing is that 5-minute 3-bar reversal. So that is basically this, right? So this is that 5-minute 3-bar reversal. Oh, let me have here. So 5-minute chart, pullback, 3-bar reversal, and look for maybe a continuation up. And then we look at the 100 tick chart. And so when I look at the execution, then I look for maybe more market structure. And this is why I use the trade execution. So we have, technically, this is a double bottom, right? And then we have that breakout. And so for me, the trade possibly would have been as soon as we break out of this pivot right here and have a technical 3-bar reversal. But you can't see this type of price action on a 5-minute chart. So it's always great to use multiple time frames. So that way you're not just looking at one time frame and you have narrow vision. You always want to implement maybe multiple views, like maybe a 5-minute, 1 minute, hourly, 15, whatever it is. And I think you do that as well, Rips. I think I remember you
That's
saying
correct.
because even though on the 5-minute, it's just one bar, but then when you zoom in, a lot more happened, right? We had a little bit of a gap down, or not a gap down, a run down, run some stop losses, and then rallied right up, double bottom on a 100 tick chart, 3-bar reversal on the 5-minute, and we're getting that continuation. And so even though the price action might not look the best on a 5-minute chart, sure enough, I mean, over here on the 100 tick, there could have been that it's what do we call it? The Google Maps, right? When you zoom into like a country and then you start zooming in further, and you start to get a lot more detail.
Yeah, getting more granular and changing your perspective. And I do like how you're using both a time chart and a tick chart because they are two vastly different perspectives. When I first started trading futures, I used to trade on a 2000 tick chart. When I trade the S&P E-mini, I graduated from that, moved over into trading off of a TPO and really focused on TPO auction theory. But yeah, I mean, we talked about this at the top of the call for anybody who missed it. By the way, if you haven't already, please slam that lucky like button. I tell you what, we will give away a free month of Clubhouse in here if we get up to, let's say, 850 likes. There's about 1,200 of you folks in here. We're at about 700 likes right now. So just 150 more. We'll do a giveaway for a free month of Clubhouse. And of course, to really just thank Coach Dakota in here for being here and sharing his trades with us. Really just a lot of knowledge to gain here. I hope that you folks are enjoying this. If you missed any of this stream, it will be posted on the archive here on YouTube so you can go back and watch it. There's a lot of golden nuggets that Coach Dakota has been dropping throughout the stream. So I'd really recommend going back and watching this if you missed any of that. So
yeah, so I think I got it set up now. So let me explain it a little bit better, but on the reverse. And I just missed that quick scalp. So here I was on the 5-minute, and you can see maybe we on the opposite side be devil's advocate for the short people who want to believe that we are going down. We had the lower pivot high, right? And it's like looking at only the 5-minute. How do you get into a trade right here? Almost impossible, right? But then we drop down to 100 tick, and sure enough, we get almost the inverse of what I was talking about. We have this, we have a little run for the stops, and then we have that double top right down. So there it is. I'm sitting here calling this out, looking at it, watching it, but not placing these trades. But exactly what I said, but in reverse, right? We have the 5-minute chart. I can see it. It's a lot harder to see, but then you zoom in, and sure enough, it's very simple, basic price action. And that could have yielded, 15, 20 points. And that sure as hell looks like it would have been
I've been managing a short here. I just wanted to get through your explanation here. I just covered. So that's going to bring us back up here even more. We are up $6,600 there on the day. So nice little $1,000 scalp there to the downside on this plane train to the downside. Just loving this price action right here. It's a beautiful day for a scalper like myself.
Man, I'm over here calling it out and pretend, vocally trading it. You're over there taking that trade. That was a good trade. Man.
It's actually really nice having another person here on stream so that while you're talking, I can actually laser focus into the trade. I am still listening exactly to what you're saying, of course, but it's really nice to not have to, there's a lot of pressure when you're actually taking trades and you're talking about every single tick that's happening in the markets here. So yeah, it was a really, really nice trade. Really, really a lot of fun. I really do appreciate it. I'll go back to your screen here so you can continue what you're talking about there.
No, I think I'm good. That's a perfect example. Me and Rips are looking at two completely different things, but we're looking at the same market, two different strategies, two different perspectives. I didn't even see Rips place that short, but yet he placed that short at almost the exact area that I would have taken it if I was just paying attention and focused. That's so crazy. It happens so much that we're traders. And even though we have different strategies, we're looking at different things, we can come to that same conclusion. And yeah, and that's maybe gives a good reason why the common denominator between most 100% of traders is risk management. End of story.
Yeah, the best traders understand risk management and they respect it at all times in their trades. And if you're one of the people out there who's just started trading on Top Step, by the way, there's a link in chat if you wanted to start trading on Top Step. If you've never traded on Top Step before, the best time to get started on Top Step was yesterday. The second best time is today. So if you haven't traded on Top Step before, it's what I use. It's what Coach Dakota's using. He's up right now almost $10,000, and the risk to Coach Dakota for those 3 accounts was a whopping $450. Actually, a little bit shy of that. So they essentially are giving him $4,500 of risk per each account. You multiply that by times 3, it's $13,000, over $13,000 of risk that he only had to put up $450 of his own dollars for, rather than funding an account with $13,000. So that's why I trade on Top Step. I'm sure Coach Dakota can share that sentiment of why he trades on Top Step. And if you've never traded on it before, it's a great platform to give you a practice account where you can start to learn this stuff, where you don't have to put your own capital at risk. Highly recommend it here. And you can trade all of these different instruments like Coach Dakota here. What did you trade this morning? What was your trade that you opened up with this morning or last night, I should say?
Eating this banana over here. It's morning for me. Okay, guys. For everyone who wasn't yet, I just woke up. I'm only on three hours of sleep.
Coach Dakota just woke up and he made 10 grand.
I'm over here in my. Be honest. I just threw this hoodie on. I'm still in my underwear. Okay, where do we go? We got a pivot point where this is going. Yeah. So last night during my slow markets class, I typically hop on and hold my slow markets class in Discord at Top Step. 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. I got into some longs on the Nikkei. Let me put my banana down. Let me switch over to the Nikkei. Give me a second. Let's go. This is just a little trade summary. So this is the Nikkei. We've been rallying since the beginning of January. We've been kind of just range bound. Now remember, this is the Nikkei, the Japanese market. We're range bound. And when we're in a range bound market, we want to buy the lows and sell the highs. Yesterday on the Nikkei during the New York session, we made a pivot low right here. And sure enough, every time we make these pivot lows, it's been great buying opportunities. I didn't get in down here. If you guys rewatch this stream, you could probably see it. I'm going to add my executions here for a minute. You can see where I got into some longs right here, had a stop loss. And this was a 13-hour trade, 12-hour trade. I got into this trade. This is right around 5 p.m., 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. And it just hit my take profit as we started the stream at Rips here at pretty much 6 a.m. my local time, 7 a.m. Central Standard Time. So yeah, 13 hours trade. I was sleeping, right? Nikkei just rallied up, and only 3 contracts, and I ended up making 10K. I'm going to say 3 contracts amongst my 3 XFAs. So technically 9 contracts, but I trade as if it's just one account, 3 contracts. I'm managing my risk on one, and I'm okay with having it copied. So made technically $3,200, 33. I can't remember the exact math.
You were just over $3,300, just around where you are right now.
Okay, so yeah, $3,300 on a trade overnight. And most of this move happened while the entire move happened while I was sleeping. The Rips sends me a message saying, hey, let's get ready for the stream. And he woke me up. I'm like, okay, I fallen asleep in the shower, throw on a hoodie and walk over to my computer, turn it on, look at it. And we were just one tick away from my take profit. And I'm like, oh, let's hurry and get this up on the stream. And as soon as we started the stream, the take profit hit. So, just some crazy timing on that one. It was fun.
Yeah, it's a really beautiful trade. And if you listen closely to what Dakota was saying, he was talking about the length of that trade. That trade was a 13-hour trade, and most of the price action happened while he was sleeping. Now, of course, I know the answer to this question, but did you have a stop in place when you went to bed?
Yeah, all the time. Every single time. My stop was below the pivot, and you guys could see it. My stop was down here. Entry, stop loss, take profit. And then, of course, I woke up and we started trading. This is the first time I traded the New York Open for a while. And as you could see, here were all my trades. Loss. And then one winner. So, yeah, just taking losses. You have to do that. You can't let your losses get out of hand, but it's okay to take losses. This is a very transparent stream. We are extremely transparent, and you guys watched me live. Loss.
If you could scoot that over a little bit, we can't see to the left side of the chart there. There we go.
There. So let's repeat that. Let me repeat my losses. Yeah, loss. But yeah, I was selling the market. We started rallying, and this is right before the New York Open, and you guys have all watched it live. And it's super frustrating sometimes. I'm used to it just because I lose 75% of my trades, but it was just losses all the way up, controlling it. However, if I would have held the trade, it would have been a really big and ugly loss. But just taking short losses as we go up, and then I got into a decent position, 2 minutes before the open, and you can see this was a nice, longer winning trade. And now I've been eating breakfast, kind of relaxing, while I watch Rip perform his magic on the market.
So we are, thank you for that wrap there, Coach Dakota. Really appreciate that. We are at 735 likes. Again, if we do get up to 850 likes, we do have enough people in here. If we get up to 850 likes before 10:15, we will give away a free month of Clubhouse. All you have to do is be here. Make sure you are subscribed to the stream and follow me on Twitter and Instagram. Very, very easy to do. We're very close to getting that. So if you folks want to win a free month of Clubhouse, odds are in your favor here. If you want to just hit that lucky like button, it's free to do, free to like the stream here. And we do really, really appreciate it. It lets the algorithm know that we're doing a good job here, that you appreciate having guests like Coach Dakota share his gracious time with us and really talk us through these really difficult and challenging trades and make it seem a lot easier than it is. Trading shouldn't be difficult over time. It's always going to be having a level of difficulty, but the more time that you're spending with trades, it shouldn't be difficult and stressful. It should get easier and easier the more that you do it, but it's going to take years and years to get there. Coach Dakota has been trading for 14 years. I have a decade of trading experience, and it didn't get there overnight. So if you're having trouble right now and you're frustrated with your trading, you're not seeing things resolve into your favor, it's okay. This is a very, very long journey, but I can promise you it does get slightly easier as you get much later in your journey. And that's how Coach Dakota is able to take these trades very stress-free. You heard it from his own mouth talking about how he took loss after loss after loss this morning, but they were controlled losses. They weren't losses that made him feel a certain way and he got emotional on those trades. He didn't start attacking the market with tenacious ferocity and trying to get even with the market, start sizing up like a jackalope. Instead, he was very consistent with his sizing, taking 2 lots on his trades that he's losing, taking two lots on the trades that he's winning. But the difference is that on his winning trade, he had a much longer extension than what he took on his paper cuts of his losing trades. And that's the difference between somebody who's consistently profitable in these markets and somebody who's emotional and flying off the handle. So again, this is a good learning lesson for you folks out there. If you're struggling with losses out there, they're going to happen. A professional like Coach Dakota here took losses in front of you, and then he showed you how he managed his emotions to come out the other side. And I think that's the most valuable thing that you could probably take away from the stream. Not the fact that he's up $10,000 today, it's how he managed his losses and accepting of those losses. That's one of the most important lessons that if I would have learned that earlier on in my trading, I'd probably be further along in my journey. I struggled with tilt, I struggled with anger, and if you see how stoic Coach Dakota has been on these trades, that's where you want to be. That should be the benchmark where you're trying to reach in your trading today. So again, thanks for being here, Coach Dakota. Hats off to you.
Oh, man, I love it. Appreciate it, Rips. Yeah, I think I seen a question in the chat saying, was my Nikkei trade 400? I think it was. I can't remember, to be honest, guys. I have short-term memory. The trades I placed last night, I don't know. I don't review my trades until like every other weekend. But I think that one was a bit more than $400 worth of risk. It was most of my trades overnight is about like 4-to-1. So I made 3,000. So I can imagine that trade was closer to like $800 worth of risk for that particular one. I don't know. I'll have to go through and review it, to be honest. But I'm not going to think about reviewing my trades until we get to the weekend. Every single time I place a trade, I forget about it. I don't. I could imagine it's a good thing because I got to the point to where anything I do in the past does not dictate anything I do in the present or in the future. Like you've seen, I took a loss. Loss. That did not affect the way I reacted in the very next trade where I was doing the exact same thing, right? And it felt like I was just going to continue to take losses. But yeah, like the trade set up, it was still valid. It didn't matter to me too much that we were 2 minutes before the New York Open, which kind of seems a little crazy now in hindsight. It worked out. I had a theory. I had the trade. I've been trying to set it up. And like I said, lots of losses until one winner, putting math in your favor, right? Risk reward. If the math is in your favor and you know your statistics, you should have that confidence of doing it. Like Rip said, he's been trading for, you said,
10 years.
A decade, 10 years. Yeah, that's crazy. To be honest, it gets to the point to where the biggest thing is emotions. Some of the best traders I have seen has little to no experience trading. Like maybe it's a stay-at-home mother and they don't have any prior experience, and he comes through and they teach like proper risk management, and they're amazing traders because they can manage their emotions a lot better because they're dealing with like crazy kids and you can imagine how that is. And like, yeah, what do you want me to do? Oh, double bottom, sure, I'll just buy, move my stop loss. Placing trades emotionless, not being very emotional. And here we are trying to force trades and have it pay the bills and all this other stuff. That the biggest hurdle eventually, the more you do it, the more emotion becomes a bigger percentage of what is slowing you down as a trader.
Absolutely. There's a question in here from RJ. They ask, what is the best time to trade the Nikkei?
I trade the Nikkei overnight. So 8 p.m. Central Standard Time is when I have my slow markets. Asian and the Japanese markets open up a little bit before then. So guys, Nikkei is not trading for the faint of heart. I don't recommend it. I definitely recommend staying with like the NASDAQ or the ES. Trading small, getting consistent before you branch out on other markets. Come join my slow markets in Discord at Top Step if you have more questions. But Nikkei is not a market that I would ever recommend trading at beginning or early stages. Even though I do talk about it, and if you want to maybe try it in a practice account, sure, but not recommended.
Yeah, if you haven't joined already, let me see if I could drop a link in here for Top Steps Discord. Let me see here. I believe this is the link. So if you just go there, you click on that, that should get you right into Top Steps Discord. Let me just confirm. Yep, that's the one. So that's how you get into Top Steps Discord. Coach Dakota runs a class there. How often are you running that class there, Dakota?
It's Mondays through Thursdays at 8 p.m. Central. Sometimes I'll do it on Sundays, but I love my weekends. So sometimes.
So every single day except for Friday and potentially some Sundays. Is that right?
Not Saturdays, but yeah, some Sundays.
Very, very cool. So yeah, if you ever want to check out Coach Dakota, you can click that link that I posted in the YouTube chat, discord.gg/topstep. That'll get you into the Top Step Discord, and you can join along with the amazing classes that Coach Dakota hosts in there. Very, very valuable. We are so close, by the way, to giving away a free month of Clubhouse. We have 5 more minutes left to get those likes up. So again, please smash those lucky like buttons right below the video. Smash it and see if you are the lucky winner for a free month of Clubhouse today. I just want to take a quick look here on the market sentiment. We are seeing the market tooling back up. This is on a 5-minute chart here in the NASDAQ. We did gather some liquidity low here, and we have a lot of bottoming wicks here. You can see all of these wicks. In fact, this one right here on this hammer candle, big bottoming wicks, and that basically says that we have price rejection down there. And you can see here this volume shelf that's sticking out right there. We had a lot of volume being conducted right at that 37 quarters level. We did play around that level, and it is looking very long and strong here up through 769. If it does break above that level, we will potentially see the S&Ps breaking out of that 5,000 level and potentially tooling all the way up to 797 3/4 today in the NQ. But do remember, we don't have any news that's important today out of the Treasury's 10-year note auction and then Fed speakers that are peppered throughout the day. The next Fed speaker, as far as I know, on deck is Adriana Kugler at 11 a.m. today. She is going to be speaking on the outlook for the economy and monetary policy. Keyword there, monetary policy. A lot of these Fed heads will go into these speeches and say, we're not going to discuss monetary policy. That's not the case with Miss Kugler here. She is going to be talking about the outlook on the economy and monetary policy. That is going to be a big deal. That can move the markets. So that's going to be coming in less than an hour here, and that's going to be a big volatility event. We are pushing up through that 769 level here as I am yapping away. I am curious, anybody else out there have a trade on? I am completely flat right now. Coach Dakota also flat. We have no position on here. Just curious if anybody's taking any longs here, looking for a short here. Looks like
MP's up $600.
Holy
today.
Smokes. How about that? Give it up for MP here. Somebody said he's about to sling 50 contracts. I don't know about 50 contracts. Oh, look at that. We got some longs in chat here. Very nice. Go ahead.
My DMs always go off whenever they mention like myself or something goes on Top Step TV or going on. I love it because I don't pay attention to everything. I'm kind of in my own little world. And I'm really good at what do they call it? Not dictating. When you pass on a task to someone else, what's it called?
I mean, that's dictating a little bit.
Delegating.
Delegating.
There we go. That's it. I'm really good at delegating. That I've run my own company. I'm doing everything. So if we have an amazing community and I delegate it, whenever something happens in the community, they just let me know. So sometimes I just don't pay attention. It sounds like I'm on the top 5 on the boards. Is
wow.
What I'm getting. So we'll see. Maybe after today, I'm going to continue moving up those leaderboards.
Wow. NQ, by the way, is ripping here. Anybody, I did see some longs here. This is going crazy right up to our level of 797 there.
Ooh,
little kiss right at 797 3/4. Yep. And there's 5,000 on the S&Ps. Big up jump the boogie here. We're going to see if we get any continuation. I might be looking for a long if we have any kind of slight pullback here. This can generally get very speedy. Meta super strong, Microsoft super strong here. This is a risky kind of breakout trade, looking for new all-time highs on something like this. I'm just looking to see if we have any type of support that is stepping in here.
All right, baby. I'm long.
Oh, wow. Look at that. Dakota is long. I'm looking for a slight pullback, potentially to 95s here. I can go to your screen really quick.
I got in long an all-time high.
Very nice. I am looking for this to hold these 800s. I'm going to go long with you as well. Looking for this to push up through these 800s now. Very nice here. Wow, look at this. This is just ripping to the top side here. Very strong push up here. This thing can get very speedy. Looking for a potential add up here for the connection all the way up to 810 now. Watching here. This is picking up a little bit. I'm watching for this to blow through these 810s now. Very nice. Up towards that 810 connection and taking off 4 contracts there. Very nice. Gorgeous resolution here to the top side. I'm going to cover right there. So that's going to bring up my total. We were sitting at 6,600. That's going to bring me up to now $7,800 on the day. How about that?
Looky there. I covered mine. I don't know how much money I made on that one.
Very nice trading, everybody out there. What a beautiful short squeeze. If you caught that thing early, you are definitely sitting pretty over here. Really nice resolution there. Buying at 797 and selling at 811 halves. Very nice there, Coach Dakota.
Oh, well, you took that same trade, huh?
I did. I took the exact same trade. There it is on my screen right here.
This is what I tell traders. People are here selling all-time highs. we just bought an all-time high, and then we made money, right? I think that's just I love that concept where we're buying at the highest point the market has ever been.
Ever.
We were buyers, and we end up making money. Like, that is such an interesting concept. And I go tell somebody that, like I say, my neighbor and my friend that doesn't trade, yeah, I went ahead, I bought the market at the highest point ever, and I made $300 off of it. What? it's interesting. And it's it's inverse of what maybe basic or common logic would think, right? When everyone's programmed like buy low, sell high. Well, you could also buy high, sell higher.
Exactly. Folks, if you did catch that move to the top side, I saw a lot of you folks were long and strong there. Go ahead and drop in chat, drop a W if you made money on that trade to the top side there. I know Coach Dakota and myself, we caught a nice little scalp there to the north side. I am seeing some W's in chat here. Give it up for yourself. Staying focused in this market. I hope everybody is enjoying the stream here. Go ahead, Coach.
Did I just see MP up $7,600?
Is that right? Oh my goodness.
He went long 50 contracts?
No. 50 micros?
No, minis. 50 minis at 975, and he closed. Wait. I don't know.
Did he really?
Oh my gosh. I think so. Like
I got to see this.
I'm bringing it up on my window.
Wait, he's only up $605 from what I see. Where's this 50 contracts noise?
Look, I'm sharing my screen.
Oh, what the heck?
7,668. And
oh my gosh!
In order to buy 50.
Did he mean to buy 5? He might have fat fingered.
I don't know. Wow. All right. Guys, this is.
That is extraordinary stuff right there. That's wild. MP puts 50 lots on the ES too, so he wasn't trading NQ. Okay. Wow. I mean, that's extraordinary right there.
I'm going to have to rewatch that. Okay. Sorry about that, Rips. We're
yeah, we are still looking for this to squeeze here. This is up above 5,000 here. I might actually get, I'm going along another contract here, looking for this to squeeze up. Our next level is 834 3/4 here. I do want to see if we can get a nice resolution here to the top side. I'm going to add into that for this break above towards 825. Trying to be a little bit aggressive on this here. Seeing if we can get that break up above these 820s towards 825 here. A nice little squeeze in motion. Want to see if I can take this out right at this 825 area. See if we get a nice little burst of momentum through that. Watching here as we're holding these 820s. Looking for a little refresh of these 820s here. We do have some sellers coming in ever so slightly here. Watching these 815s. And I have my stop here at 804. Let's see if we have a little push up back towards these 20s. And watching here right around these 20s. I want to take this full size as long as we're holding these 10s because this can get extra squeezy here. I do have my stop in place to protect any downside on this trade here. So let's see if we can get this pushing back up. We're kind of holding at these 15s. Getting a little spicy up here. Wow, MP is up 8K right now. That's insane.
I'm watching the replay. He got in using a buy limit order. So pretty much exactly what we were doing. It's so interesting. Like I said, how traders think alike. Like, we are all having our own strategy, but we entered basically at the same area, and we all made money on that.
Right. So I'm seeing if these 10s are holding here. Watching very closely, seeing if these 10s will firm up for us at all. And we might get stopped out here, just watching very, very closely here. 10s are starting to firm up again. I want to see this jump up right back up towards those 20s. We do have some sellers coming in right at those 10s. We're looking for a retest of the old high. Exactly right. So that's what we're looking for on this push back up. Okay, getting up towards those 15s again. A little pullback too in the S&Ps there. I would re-enter if we get stopped out on this thing. So watching here at these 5s. Here is a book map. Watching this right here at these 10s, seeing if this is going to hold up above these 15s now. Looking for that reclaim of these highs to the north side here. A lot of liquidity still stacked up to the north side here. Seeing if we can get potentially 50-10 on the S&Ps here. That's going to give us a nice push to the top side if we start to tag up in these upper ranges here. Back up towards these 15s. We have some resistance right now sitting at the 15s here. Seeing this starting to tool up to the north side. Watching here. Get your screen back on here.
Grips.
You'll be right back? Okay, cool.
Yep.
So pushing back against these 15s once more. Watching here. Little bit of stall at these 15s, but I think that we can get a nice little push of energy through this area. Watching closely here. I'm going to cover 5. Watching above 18 now. Very, very nice. It's what I want to see. Another 5 out there. Beautiful. Watching for this to rip right back up. Now up above these 20s. Seeing if we can make, again, new highs here. Watch for this to rip up into new highs above these 20s. And again, 25s as well. So 15 still kind of holding here. And I'm just going to stop out there. So that brings us down a little bit there, going from 7,800 back down to 4,200 there on that trade. Was looking for new all-time highs, just managing my risk around that trade there. Was looking for new all-time highs on above those 25s. I still think that there is a chance that we can hit that. All right, seeing this here back at these 20s, potentially re-entering here for this break of these 20s. Oops, there we go. There's Coach Dakota. So watching here on this break of 20s now. 20s looking like they're having a little bit of struggle here. Watching. Yeah, it's still a little bit of struggle here at these 20s. Any other trades for you, Coach?
Nope. I'm just relaxing. I finished my banana, having me an energy drink. Enjoying the show, to be honest, and enjoying watching you. I had some Top Step TV on for a minute, watching MP sling 50 contracts, and seeing if there's another opportunity. Like I said, real trading's boring sometimes, and I'm not going to be forcing any trades. We're at all-time highs, which is great. We're at a spot where it's like it's very hard to keep getting into a long here for just me, because we could just have an ugly sell-off at any moment. But I'll just continue to watch. If I see something, I'll call it out. Typically, when we make all-time highs, we continue to make more. So
yeah, so I'm watching for this blowout of 25s here. Very nice. There's that blow up through 25s. That's exactly what I'm looking for here. I want to see this continuation up through 34 now. Beautiful, beautiful resolution. Out 5 right there. So that's going to bring us back up towards, we're up $7,300 now on that scalp to the north side there. So really nice trade through those 25s there. Trying to intercept our next level here that we're watching right up at 34. Anybody else catch that trade there to the top side? So bad timing on our first trade up in this area, but then a very, very nice recovery on this second trade here. Nice. Look at that. Up $4,500 for light. 20 handles, 1 lot for neon. Way to go. Love to see that, folks. So this is our next area of trouble, because then above this, we have all the way a run up to 873 here. Whoops, I got to move this. A lot going on over here. We're making all-time highs. Things are going crazy. I want to see a little pullback here around this 34 level. S&P is looking for that 50-10 that we talked about. I think we do have a run potentially all the way up to 850 here. How are we doing on likes here, by the way? Did we get to 850 likes yet? If we did, I'm going to do that giveaway. Let's see here. We're at 836, folks. Just give us 14 more likes. If you're enjoying the stream here, 14 more likes, and we will do that giveaway here. 14 more likes. Help me to get to 700 on the day. Done. Nice work there, Paul. Way to go. We got 805 up $4,500. We have Austin that's crushing it up 68 handles right now. Holy smokes. Give it up for Austin here.
That's what we call a sack lunch. Nom, 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 nom.
Forkston says new bookmap user here, and it's a game changer. Amazing, amazing, amazing. Yeah, I love that. Love to hear that. If you want to get bookmap here, by the way, there's a link I'll drop here in the YouTube chat. There's a link to bookmap. We got Coach Dakota here yawning on the price actions, all-time highs. Unbelievable.
I have a buy stop in. I'm actually just going to be looking to take. I used to call this trading for income, where I'm only looking to get 2 or 3 points out of the market, just really quick in and out. Maybe book, $100 here, $100 there with one lot, or not $100, like 60 here, 60 there. Just really quick, because whenever we run into a lot of volatility like this, the market could be bouncing 2 points really quick, and using stop limit orders. Sometimes I could get a quick 2 or 3 points in and out. Nothing too big, just something that extra $60 in your pocket every once in a while. And if I could take a few of these, sure, why not?
I like that a lot. I like that approach a lot. So we're watching here for pushing on new all-time highs here. We're at the 40s, looking for this run now up to the 50s. I was looking for a deeper pullback. We didn't pull back below the 30s. That would have been a nice entry for me there. I have to be wary about this. We're encroaching on 50-10 potentially in the S&Ps and 850 on the NQ here. So I'm watching to see if we get a pullback now below 40s. We can have any kind of slight pullback here. I got to go for that there for this tool up towards 50. And I tried to cover there on the offer. And we are filled 1, filled 2, and filled out. So there we go. That's going to bring us up to now $8,100 there on the day on that push up towards the 50s there. Really, really nice, beautiful market this morning. Really great opportunities here. Love nabbing points on these nice little pickups.
And I did make, I don't know how much I made there, but I made some money.
Hey, there you go. Yeah, look, you're looking well over $10,000 in profit over there. It looks like you're up $11,000 there. Well, $10,500, I would suppose.
Sometimes that's how I am, guys. I don't realize, and I don't care about how much I make. So 3 points, 2.5 points times 20. So was it like $50? $20
a point.
$50 bill. Yeah, so 240, but almost about $50. Walk down the street, you pick up $50, right?
There you go. Yeah, this thing is just screaming. We're through 50-10 now, 5010 on the S&Ps. I'm still looking for any kind of pullbacks to buy into here. This thing is just going crazy. I wish there wasn't any lag for switching over into the main Rhythmic server, because I'd love to be trading this actually on my Top Step Live account. I'm going to try another go here above 60. I want to try to get aggressive on a pullback here. I know this is definitely overextended, but we're keeping our risk in check here. Looking for this to rip above the 60s now, and we have liquidity all the way up through the 70s. So trying to time this appropriately. Looking for a pullback potentially into the mid to low 50s here. And it still looks like this thing is on the juice for the time being here. So a little bit of a slight pullback. Going to add into that pullback there, looking for this breakup above 60 now. There are some players that are capping this off, but we want to be very, very careful of a potential flush down. And I might add into that given how strong this market still is. We do have some players that are stepping in on the offer, trying to get fills. I want to see how aggressive those players are getting filled here. So watching for this now for this burst above 60s here, adding into that for this breakup above 60. Looking for this to tool up a little bit higher. I want to see 63 on the print. There's 63, covering, and we are out another 3 right there. So that's going to bring our total up to 10,600 on the day. I was feeling left out when I wasn't at 5 figures of profit, so I had to join my friend and my trading buddy, Coach Dakota here. If you're enjoying the stream, folks, drop a W in chat. We're here for the people. We're here to do it for you, folks.
Man, how's that for a team, right? What kind of a team are we going to be having? This is going to be like the 2002 Lakers, right? What?
That's I would say we're probably like the 94, 95 Bulls.
Yeah, there we go. Wow.
There's that pullback, folks. That's what we have to be on guard for. This is why we always trade with stops. We never put on a trade unless we're using stops in place. And we've been really just scalping this market and working it to our favors here. I'm just hearing some squawks in my ears right now. The DOE crude numbers are out. It is 10:30. Crude inventory up 5.5 million versus a 1.5 million estimate. Gasoline distillate are both down below the estimates here. Distillate's at negative 3.2 million and gasoline down a negative 3 million. So those both missed the mark there. So a little bit of a pullback here in the market, a slight reaction on that. All right, let's just check and see here if we have any other likes here. Wow, we got to 886 likes. Give it up for you folks. Coach Dakota, I'm going to do one quick giveaway for Clubhouse, and then I'm going to wrap it up here. Did you want to stick around for the giveaway, or did you want to get some rest?
I think I'm going to go. I think I'm going to be done, man. This was fun. It was really interesting. That all-time highs, guys. Like, I lost some money, made some money, had a good time. Super tired. We're both, well, at least I'm running on energy drinks. So proper risk management. And we're going to have to do this again sometime, where I do like trading volatility. This was my first New York Open for a very long time. And I think overall net for the New York Open, I'm up like a couple $100 from my Nikkei position. But that's also being down after I was down 1,000 per account. I think I was down 1,000 at one point in time during the New York Open. So that, I mean, across 3 accounts, I was down 3,000, finishing up, positive like $600 for that little bit of a session was fun. Of course, we could always go back through and with hindsight go in and say, oh, I could have done this, could have done that, maybe hold this trade a little bit longer. Whatever it is, I'm probably going to do something similar just to see, because this was a very first time for me on the New York session for a while, and go from there. We'll do it again. I don't know, maybe one of these days when I could get some more sleep before and call it good.
Yeah, I think the people really enjoyed you here, and I really appreciate everybody sounding off in chat and thanking Coach Dakota for his time. He doesn't have to do this. He doesn't have to share his knowledge with everybody in here. He's doing this out of the goodness of his heart and taking his time out of his very busy schedule to do this for everyone. So I really do thank you for coming on here, Coach Dakota. Will you come back? The people want to know. Will you come back on a future stream?
Yes.
Awesome.
I'm going to go ahead and put it out there and give it a solid yes.
I love that. All right, folks.
The question is going to be timing.
Yeah, timing is going to be everything for that. Again, Coach Dakota, really appreciate that. Where can the people find you? Do you have a Twitter? Do you have an Instagram? I already posted your YouTube link. I'm going to post that again. How can the people find you if they want to get a hold of you? I know you're in the Top Step Discord and you coach Monday through Thursday. Is there another way that people can get in touch with you?
Nope.
That's it.
You cannot find me. I do not have social media, guys. I don't have Facebook. I don't have Instagram. I don't have any of that. This is as close to it gets as getting access to me is that through that Discord. I don't like to be found. I love to yeah. I know that might sound weird, but I don't really care about having a big following or a lot of people finding me in terms of that. I love to be kind of just the guy behind the scenes trading. Other than Utah, of course, right, Whit? Well, I'm in Utah. You heard MP when he announced on the Traders Tap, he's like, yes, somewhere in Utah. I don't know where. So you guys need to, like, not even they know. They just know I'm in Utah. That's all that's good enough.
Well, again, I really appreciate you being on stream, and hopefully we can do this again very soon. The people here loved you, and do not be a stranger. We'll catch you when you're back. Always really appreciate you doing this, and I know your time is very valuable, so we'll let you go here, and looking forward to having you back soon. And everybody else, don't go anywhere. We're going to do a giveaway here for a free month of Clubhouse. Any parting words for us, Coach?
That's it, guys. Just manage your risk. You don't have to trade. Like, I know I yawned a few times because I was tired, but yeah. Price action, new eyes. We could be as volatile as I want. We've seen this stuff millions of times. At least I have, anyway. Right? We're sitting in front of the charts. Nothing new that the market could do that that would get me up out of my seat or get exciting. We had some amazing movement. I was like 100-point rally, hitting all-time highs, and it was boring. I mean, for me, right, to each their own. But for me, it was like boring. Okay, great. Of course, I'm not going to be putting on. If I had 50 contracts,
That'll blow
that
your
might
hair back a little bit.
give me a little excited. But all right, I'm going to sign off, guys. Thanks, everybody. This is a great stream. Glad to have you as a partner, a trading buddy, and let's get our team name together. So think of some names. I'll think of a few, and we'll talk to Isaac, and I think his name's Justin. And maybe we could all come up with 1 or 2 ideas, and then we could start putting it to a vote, and then we'll let the community decide. And we'll get a great team name. Then we can start discussing, like you said, jerseys, branding, and all that fun stuff. And really make it big, because this is a big thing for us in terms of, this is fun. Like, this really is. I mean, you get to that age once you get out of like junior high school, and college, if you competed in sports. I was this is something that you don't know about me. I was on the golf team, and I'm very, very competitive. And then once you get to an age, you stop being competitive. And then this is kind of our little competitiveness, right? Where yes, it is us, and we need to focus on our own personal trading, and we cannot let any competitiveness affect our trading. But it is a way to get us to where we make sure we hold ourselves responsible, accountable. We focus on risk management. And this gives a lot of transparency to us and to our communities, and to all of the traders that we're trying to help see and visually see what we're thinking about, watching our executions and our thought processes. And none of it's hidden. And that's what we really want to strive for, to help new traders, because I see it all the time. I've seen it all the time. The past 14 years is everyone wants to really look good, because that's how they sell their stuff, and that's how they make money, right? And the better you look and the more money you show that you're making, the more of a following you get, and the more money you can make from selling stuff. And that gets a lot of people in bad habits, and it's very hard to see. I see some traders that go through very hard time emotionally and mentally, that go through that, and it's not even their faults, right? It's just all this crap on the internet that we're trying to help, guide traders, not teach. Right? We don't want to teach you exactly how to trade, because that's not what we're here for. We don't want to say, do this, do this, do that, do this, do this. We just want to help, guide you, like, hey, this is typically the right direction. Find your own way, control your risk manage, and here's an opportunity that you can go through, get funded, not risk a lot of money, $50 or whatever the small combine is. And when you do get consistent, you could receive a paycheck from it. And that's so rewarding, where you don't have to put 10K in your own personal account and learn the hard way by following a lot of BS online. But yeah, I think that's it. Off my soapbox. So
well, again, we really appreciate you being here, Dakota, and we will catch you on the next one. Again, thank you so much. Take care and have a great rest of your day. We'll see you around, okay?
All right. Good night, man.
Good night. Bye. All right, everybody. So that was Coach Dakota. He will be back here soon, as I'm very excited to see him back here very, very soon. It was just a real pleasure having him on here, and I know that everybody really enjoyed his time here with us, and it was a lot of fun. So hopefully maybe we'll get him back here next week, maybe the following week. We'll have to see. So stay tuned for my Twitter account, where I will be posting a poll for what the team name should be. If you care about that, we're going to be posting that on my social media. Where you want to follow me is @SellingRips. It's on Twitter. It's on Instagram. Now let's do that giveaway you folks have been so patiently waiting for here. Let me go ahead and load it up. Load it on up here. All righty. And we go to the giveaways here. All right, folks. So we're going to do 3 times the luck for members in here. If you are a subscriber to the channel, if you're not, make sure you are subscribed here with your notifications turned on. That's how you can win. And make sure you are following me @SellingRips. on Twitter and Instagram. All right, folks, we're going to do a keyword. Since we had such an amazing guest, the keyword is going to be the guest's name, Dakota, just like that, Dakota. Just type that in the YouTube chat. Just type in Dakota to enter to win here, and make sure you are following me on Instagram, follow me on Twitter. If Dakota had some Instagram or Twitter, we'd say follow him there, but he's not to be found in any of those areas. So just follow me on Instagram, follow me on Twitter. We're going to get one lucky winner to win a free month of Clubhouse here. And good luck to all of you here. We'll cut this off in about probably about 2 minutes here. But yeah, wow, what a session. Dakota up $10,000, myself up $10,000. Very, very happy to be trading that. Just a beautiful, beautiful market today. A lot of amazing opportunities, and just amazing opportunities in this market to the long side this morning. And do keep in mind, if you missed some trades this morning, if you weren't in the pocket this morning, don't worry about it. This market is going to be here to stay. And for as long as we go up and up and up, there's going to be a reverse side to that where we go down and down and down. So there's going to be ways to trade this both ways. So don't feel out of the pocket. If you miss it the long side, there's going to be a way to hit it to the short side, and the day's not over. Just try your best to not be ruled by your emotions. I was for a very long time in my trading. And one of the best things that I did was starting to push those emotions to the side and not let them rule my trading, and try to be as stoic as Coach Dakota showed us that you can be today here live on stream. He took multiple losses in front of everyone. The real side of trading, where you will take losses, not shy to hide it, talking you through his trade ideas each and every time, not getting emotional when he lost. In fact, just moving on, adjusting his trade ideas into the next trade, and not being a baggage handler, which some of us can be from time to time. So go back, rewatch this stream, and if you can do us a favor here for the channel, make sure you write a comment below, not just in the chat, but when you're watching this a later time. It really helps out the YouTube algorithm. Even if you just leave an emoji below, a thumbs up emoji or anything, it really helps the channel here. We are going for 10,000 subscribers, so I do appreciate the continued support here. Give it up again for Coach Dakota for being here. It's such a pleasure to share the stage with him, and I can't wait for our next one here. Give you folks about another 30 seconds, and then we'll do this drawing. Remember, you do just have to follow me on Twitter, follow me on Instagram. Today in the Clubhouse here after the bell, we are doing a webinar. And for my folks here in Clubhouse, we will get the audio situation figured out for the next joint stream that we do. So you do have the low latency, zero latency live stream. My apologies deeply for that, but hopefully I can make it up to you with this fantastic webinar that we're going to do today after the bell. If you can't make it live for the webinar, it's okay. It's going to be in the webinar archive. It's going to be archived for you folks so that you can go back and watch it at your leisure at any time that you want. All right, we'll do a drawing here. We have about 268 people in here for the drawing. Good luck to everyone. This is for a free month of Clubhouse. We will be doing a free combine giveaway too towards the end of the week. It's probably going to be right around Friday, probably maybe tomorrow, maybe Friday. I'll post on my Twitter when that's going to happen. All righty, folks, here we go. Rolling in 5, 4, 3, 2, and Eric, are you with us? Eric, you have won a free month of Clubhouse. If you are here, just say, yes, I'm here, and then type me, what is your Instagram username or your Twitter username, and just say what it is. Just say, my Twitter username is this, my Instagram username is this. Don't put the @ symbol. That will break up the message. You have about 60 seconds to claim. Let's see if you're here. Eric, are you with us? Are you with us? If not, we will re-roll. No big deal. Make sure too, if we do a re-roll, a re-roll, make sure you are watching the stream at live. So just set it to 2x. You'll catch up all the way to where we are in the stream right now. Yes, I'm here. Okay, let's see on X. Wow, look at that. So look at this. Give it up for Eric. That's how you win a giveaway, folks. On the ball. You love to see that. Finally, we got one that is just right on the ball. Now, are you following me? Yes, you are. Eric, give it up for Eric here. Congratulations. Congratulations, Eric. Oh, wow. Look at that. Oh, my goodness gracious. Amazing. Eric, this is the second time you've won. Amazing, amazing luck. Congratulations there, Eric. Second time he has won. This is amazing. So I will send you that coupon code later today. All right, folks. Well, that was just a jam-packed, exciting stream. What an amazing market we've been blessed with. Just amazing, amazing trades. Just love to see it. I'm finishing up my day up $10,600. I also traded in my live account yesterday in Globex, made about $2,000 on that account. So again, very, very just amazing session, amazing day. Had a lot of fun trading with you folks in here. Love to see you folks crushing it with the W's in chat. Now, folks on Discord, don't go anywhere. I will be with you folks in a second. Folks on YouTube, we're going to be doing 2 more giveaways this week. Don't want to miss it. Make sure you are tuning in. And again, please leave a comment below on this video. It really does help out the YouTube algorithm. We're trying to get to 10,000 subs here. Alrighty, folks, have a great rest of your trading day, and I will see everybody here on YouTube bright and early at 8 a.m. Eastern time tomorrow. Take care. Have a great trading day, everyone. And be careful for those Fed speakers today. It could get wild. And be careful of that 10-year note auction. Take care, everyone. Good luck.